Me Bowl 2013. Our coverage continues on Fox Sports Midwest on the banks of the Mississippi River. Triple header action continues today in downtown St. Louis. Class 3 title game coming up as the Spoof Hounds from Maryville take on the Seneca Indians. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic Thanksgiving weekend. Welcome to the Edward Jones Dome. Along with Michael Young, I'm Scott Warman. Great to have you alongside. Boy, what an exciting weekend of football we've already had here in downtown St. Louis, Michael.
Yeah, you know what, especially when you have teams that won state championships last year, turn around and came back and won another state championship. Webb City, Lamar, Blue Springs. This is something that they'll never forget, and it's also a good vacation for some of these teams that traveled all the way from the banks of Kansas City and then also Springfield area.
No doubt about it. Let's take a look at the finals from yesterday. You had the 8-man final. There you see North Andrew winning, and of course, as Michael just mentioned, Lamar with another championship, Webb City with another championship, and then we wrapped it all up last night with Blue Springs knocking off Rockbridge. 3 more games today. Of course, this game coming up, the Class 3 title game. Then we'll have the Class 1 championship, and then we'll finish the triple header. Great matchup. I know you and I are looking forward to. Lee Summit West taking on Parkway Central.
Yeah, you know, with Lee Summit West, they have multiple players going to Division I schools. Parkway Central, the only local team to make it in St. Louis, they're looking to go ahead and add to the streak of just getting another state championship for Parkway Central.
All right, let's get to this Class 3 title game. Seneca taking on the Maryville Spoof Hounds, and we're going to have 2 terrific running games. Let's start off with the Seneca Indians.
Seneca, Graham, 50 total touchdowns. Need I say more? He can run the ball. He can receive the ball out of the backfield. They're going to try to feature him every way they can to get him a touchdown to get another state championship.
Meanwhile, for Maryville, they also have a terrific running game, and it's run by Brody McMahon, who we saw last year in the championship.
Yeah, Brody McMahon. Normally you don't see a running back who's a fullback lead his team in rushing, but he does a little bit of everything too. He's going to be the 34 for Maryville to get the ball first, and then he's just going to take off and just try to make his way to the end zone every way which possible.
All right, should be a great matchup here in our first game. It's for the championship in Class 3. Maryville and Seneca headed your way next. Welcome back to the Edward Jones Dome here in downtown St. Louis as we get started on our triple header coverage of Show Me Bowl 2013. It's the Class 3 title game between the defending champion Maryville Spoof Hounds as they take on the Seneca Indians. And as we see the coin toss down on the field, let's go down on the field and check in for the first time today with Jim Powers and Rich Nixon. Jimmy?
Thanks so much, Scott. It's been a great first day, getting ready for game number 2, day number 2. And Rich, you were 2-1 yesterday. You picked Elias, and I still can't figure out why. Let's see what you can do today. Class 3, Seneca taking on the Spoof Hounds. Who you got?
Hey, I learned my lesson yesterday going away from tradition. I saw the more athletic, the better football team. I believed, maybe not overall team because the better team won, right? But
right.
I'm going with tradition, and Maryville's got that tradition. They're number 1 in their class for a reason. They're undefeated. They're going to win the game, and I think they're going to win the game handedly.
And one of the best nicknames in the state of Missouri, if not the country, the Spoof Hounds of Maryville. Let's go over to our other partner here on the broadcast. Here on the sidelines, it's Corey Riggs.
Thanks, Jimmy. And Rich talks about the tradition of Maryville football. And one of them you saw just a few minutes ago as they came out onto the field behind the American flag. And that tradition means more now than ever. As this year, Maryville's without one of their starters from a year ago. Their starting center, Eric Sigmund. Aaron's not here watching the Spoof Hounds play today because he's in boot camp, training to become a U.S. Marine. So on Thanksgiving, what a better time for us to say thanks to everyone serving, including the former Spoof Hound, Eric Sigmund. Back up to you, Scotty.
All right, Corey, thanks. Good stuff. And Seneca will open up our Class 3 title game, kicking things off. And Peyton Rawlings, also the quarterback, will get us started here at the Edward Jones Dome. And the Spoof Hounds will collect the kickoff from their own 5. And great coverage downfield. The tackle made by Jacob Walker, the junior safety for the Seneca Indians. Seneca finished the season at 11-3 and an undefeated season for the Spoof Hounds. And there you see their quarterback, the senior, Trent Nally, already headed to Northwest Missouri State. The Spoof Hounds have won 29 straight games, which right now is the active leader for a winning streak in all 6 classes in the state of Missouri. They're defending Class 3 champions, and they're back in the title game for the 2nd straight year. And they're going up top to start things off. Incomplete on our first play of this afternoon's game.
Yeah, I can understand Matt Webb wanting to move the pocket a little bit, not necessarily want to give Kevin McMahon the ball right away. He kind of want to ease his way into the offense. But, yeah, Trent Nally, this is a guy going to Northwest Missouri State next year, play a little bit of quarterback. I can see him giving the MIAA conference some fits in the years to come.
Has 996 passing yards and 874 rushing yards. Now they go to the ground game on second down, and they'll get 10 yards on the Brody McMahon carry, as Brody McMahon leading the team in rushing yards. He eclipsed the 1,100-yard mark after last week's game.
Yeah, good blocking up front by the offensive line, just kind of clearing everything out for Brody McMahon, adding to that 6-point yard average per carry.
On second down to the running game, huge hole, and there goes the Comer Beamer, the freshman, into Seneca territory, and he's finally wrapped up at the 40-yard line.
Excuse me, Scott, did you say this guy was a freshman? 8th grade last year, coming in on a big stage, rushing for over 800 yards, and you just saw a good reason right there. Normally, teams who don't pass the ball much, they like to get on the perimeter and consider that a passing play, and he just did a good job of following his blockers. Once he saw the first open seam, just took it right down the field.
34 yards on the carry for Dakota. And to the up back, more running room. This is McMahon to the outside. McMahon with a stiff arm, and he's run out of bounds by Braxton Graham, but not before he gets inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, that's one thing I like to see from the Spoof Hounds. They like to attack teams right in the core of their defense. That's the way you get most of your yards on the trap plays. I mean, the fastest way to the end zone is in a straight line, and the Spoof Hounds are doing just that.
Now look at the work the offensive line is doing for the Spoof Hounds right out of the gate here on our opening possession. Now a quick dive play, no gain on the first down carry for Maryville. The unbelievable story about the Maryville Spoof Hounds is here's a team that went undefeated last year, won the state title, and they lost 22 seniors from last year's team, undefeated again as they look for 30 in a row here this afternoon.
That is pretty amazing, because now that you mention it, Seneca, they pretty much have 21 starters returning, and right now you really can't tell on the opening drive.
McMahon on the carry, and Seneca does an exceptional job of stuffing the run again on second down for Brody.
It's a good job by the defensive line for the Indians, getting some type of resistance. They're going to have to take that trap play away, because if they don't, it's going to be a long afternoon for the Indian defense.
This is the 7th play of the drive. 3rd and 3. Beamer on the pitch, and Dakota end zone, touchdown, Spoof Hounds.
Way too easy on the first drive for the Spoof Hounds to just be able to march down the field with little resistance by the Indian defense. Just another toss play, consider it a pass, following his blockers down the field, getting some good push by number 33 Thompson, taking his man out on the end man on the line of scrimmage. And now they line up in the funky formation because they don't like to kick extra points.
Yeah, the coach, Matt Webb, told us in our teleconference that they go for the unconventional 2-point play every time, and they'll get it here. So they score on the opening possession, and the defending state champion Maryville Spoof Hounds are up 8-0.
I mean, Dakota Beamer, I can't emphasize enough that this kid was in 8th grade last year. Probably one of the biggest moments in his life was the 8th grade graduation. You put him in the game right now, and he already has a touchdown and a converted 2-point conversion. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this kid in the future in the record books in the Misha Shobi Bowl.
8 plays, 84 yards. It took $148. And you had 2 runs of over 30 yards, one by that young man, Dakota Beamer, the freshman, and, of course, Brody McMahon with the 35-yarder to get inside the 5-yard line. And the defending state champions are looking like they want to roll to another state title. Let's take a quick look back at the drive.
I mean, just like Lamar, just like Webb City, they're an angle blocking team, meaning they're going to have pullers and trappers, the guards, the tackles. They're going to try to get on the perimeter, and then just an old 34 trap play with McMahon going right up the middle, pretty much untouched until he gets just to the 5-yard line, and then a touchdown. Just a simple toss play, good blocking on the end. You see number 33 Thompson sticking his face in there, giving Beamer more than enough room to walk in the end zone.
They get a shot of the freshman. short kick, and it's picked up by the up back for Seneca. That is Dallin Merriman, their leader on defense, also plays one of the wideout positions for Seneca as they'll go 4 wide. They spread things out for the Indians down from the southwest Missouri area, and we'll see Peyton Rawlings, the quarterback and company. Rawlings, a 3-year starter, first team all Big 8 conference player this year. Coach Scheibel calls him his true leader of his team. He'll go up top on first down, going downfield, incomplete, as Dallin Merriman was the intended receiver.
Yeah, Coach Scheibel trying to do the same thing that Matt Webb did for his quarterback, just kind of move in the pocket a little bit, because the Spoofhounds defense, they can get a little bit of pressure, so he at least wants to kind of give Rollins some vision to be able to locate his wide receivers down the field.
On second down, this is Graham. And Braxton Graham, who rushed for over 2,700 yards this season, no gain on his first carry today.
Yes, swallowed up by the defensive lineman for the Spoofhounds. It just happened to be on that particular play, number 76, Cassett.
Third and 14. Rawlings. Peyton. And great coverage downfield by the Spoofhounds as Peyton couldn't find any receiver open. And it's a 3-and-out on the opening possession for the Seneca Indians.
Yeah, Thompson did a really good job of closing down in the open field. And also number 57, Bledsoe, as a defensive end, you don't want to necessarily lose contain on the mobile quarterback, but he got his hands on him just enough to slow him down to force a turnover down.
Rawlings also handles the punting chores, averaging just over 34 yards a kick this season. End over end. Maryville collects it. McMahon from his own 29. McMahon into Seneca territory. And when we come back from the break, Show Me Bowl 2013, Maryville with the football and already an 8-point lead.
Welcome back to 2013 Show Me Bowl here in downtown St. Louis. Maryville leads Seneca 8-0. Today's broadcast is being brought to you by Bomarito Automotive Group. Bomarito is Missouri's #1 automotive group now for the 4th year in a row, outselling everyone in the entire state of Missouri, and just recently named 15th largest automotive group in the country. Thanks so much to Bomarito Automotive Group for sponsoring our broadcast. We got a good one brewing here at the Dome. Let's go back upstairs. Scott Warman and Michael Young.
All right, Jimmy, thanks so much. Spoofhounds on their second possession, and they'll start it from the Seneca 45 on the 25-yard return by Brody McMahon. Dakota Beamer, who's already had a very good opening possession, will get the first carry for 2 yards to the 43-yard line. Young man who picked up his 9th TD of the 2013 campaign.
Yeah, you know, Cody Beamer is a really good change of pace running back for McMahon. You know, McMahon is kind of that guy to kind of keep the ball just between the A-gaps, the gap between the guard and the center, while you got Beamer just really stressing the edge out on the defense. And no one can catch him when he gets in the open field.
McMahon trying to get to the outside. Great pursuit by Seneca. No gain. In fact, they will give him forward progress to the 42 for a 1-yard pickup. But great job there by the Seneca Indian defense that brings back 10 starters from last year's team.
Yeah, one way if you want to have a defense chase and pursue, just watch all these red shirts to just kind of get the screen, led by number 61 for the Indians, Gabe Martin. It's always good for a defense when the running back is running lateral as opposed to having to shoulder square towards the line of scrimmage.
Beamer on 3rd and 7. Sorry, Michael. He's going to fall just short of the first down. Nice tackle by Gabe Martin, who you just mentioned.
Yeah, Gabe Martin wants to get a piece of this first state championship. It's a guy that coming in, I mean, a hybrid defensive end. He'll line up at defensive tackle, but whatever he's doing a pretty good job right now, just trying to stop the charge.
Spoofhounds going for it. 4th and less than a yard. Alley's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. What a surge by Seneca as they stop him. Jacob Trulove with the tackle for loss.
Yeah, Jacob Trulove made the play. But if you just focus right on the red shirts on the defensive line, they really took away that quarterback sneak to where Nally couldn't get down here right away, got knocked backwards, and Trulove just cleaned him up. Look at the red shirts just stuffing and taking that running lane away. True Love cleaned him up for a tackle for loss.
And now the Indians with the 4th down stop get their second possession from their own 36, down 8-0. Rawlings going to run the option. Here's Braxton Graham trying to get to the outside. And a couple of Spoof Hounds defenders doing a nice job there, Michael, on the containment to keep Graham on the inside.
Yeah, you're going to have to build a wall for Graham, because as long as his shoulders are going towards the sideline, that gives your defense a chance to pursue. But on this particular play, he ran into the back of his own blocker, but that was pretty good coverage on the outside by the defensive back, actually pushing his man back into Graham.
Ethan Dorland, number 7, they're trying to do as good of a job as possible to get a block downfield, but he had 2 Spoof Hounds in his face mask. On 2nd and short, they'll dump it down low, and the catch is made by Quentin Cotton. And Cotton's going to fall a yard shy off the pass reception there for Seneca.
Yeah, and I like that call by Scheibel. Just a high percentage pass, kind of settle the quarterback down. If the running game gets taken away, then you can at least come back and do some of those little dump passes, and that'll open things up for your running game later on.
3rd and 1 for the Indians. And on the sneak, Rawlings is going to get it.
Yeah, that time on that quarterback sneak, the Indians won again. Just close quarters. You saw an initial surge by the offensive line, pushing the white shirts back. That's why he said I converted first down.
The Indians not only bring back 10 starters from their defense, let's face it, a lot of guys playing on both sides when you get to the lower classes, but they bring back all 11 starters, Coach Scheibel told us this week, into this 2013 campaign. They've won 11 of their last 12 games, and on first down. How about these moves by Braxton Graham? He makes something out of absolutely nothing as he's finally wrapped up by John Schenkel.
Yeah, excellent individual running by Graham. That play was stopped dead in the backfield, but his persistence to keep his feet moving, not losing vision, just continue to lunge forward just to get some type of positive yards, just to keep the offense on schedule.
Now they'll spread this thing out for the Indians on 2nd and long. Rawlings back, throws. Oh, Merriman tried to go back and make the reception. Great effort, but it's an incomplete pass as Nally was there on the coverage for the Spoof Hounds.
Merriman did a good job trying to readjust his body, but that's where you want to see Rawlings, or any quarterback for that matter. Whenever the coach moves the pocket, these quarterbacks have to set their feet and be able to step into their throws and deliver an accurate ball. If you can't do it, then you're going to get plays just like that, incomplete passes.
Indians 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions early on. This is a 3rd and 8. Rawlings unloads, caught. Merriman, first down and more. He'll be tripped up at the 34-yard line.
And Scotty, that was the difference right there. Rawlings had time in the pocket, able to step into his throw. And you just see him there, might be getting a little bit of pressure, but he was able to step into his throw and locate Merriman down the seam in the middle of the field. And Merriman coming into this game, he's the leading wide receiver as a tight end.
18 yards on the pickup. And the second possession of this afternoon's game continues for the Indians. There goes Braxton Graham, breaking a couple of tackles, gets another first down. Nally finally wraps him up at the 21, a pickup of 13.
And that's not a good sign for the Spoof Hounds defense, especially when you have an explosive running back running free, getting to the 3rd level pretty clean. Just keep your eye on the offensive line, just creating space, down blocking. A good block on the end by number 9, Nick Dunham, kind of sealing that edge and just letting Graham do the rest and picking his way through the seams.
Braxton Graham again, and this time just smothered on the pursuit by the Spoof Hounds that was led by John Schenkel. He's the 3rd leading tackler on this Spoof Hound squad.
Yeah, in order to kind of discourage Graham from running wild on their defense this afternoon, the Spoof Hounds, they're going to have to gain tackle. It's going to have to be a lot of white shirts to the ball carrier, because if they don't, I mean, we could potentially see a high-scoring game this afternoon. 9th
play of the drive. It started from the Seneca 36. Graham trying to get to the outside. And we have a penalty flag as he is tackled in the open field right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, might be some holding on the outside by number 7, Dorland. Blocking it back.
So big penalty there, Michael.
Yeah.
Block in the back on the offense. Repeat second down.
I believe it either came from Chan Smith. That's why Graham was able to get to the edge so freely, or it might have come from Graham, or Dorland, I'm sorry, on the outside, the wide receiver.
So now they face a 2nd and 23. Rawlins will go up top, setting up the screen to Graham. Graham gets a cut inside the 20, and he's wrapped up at the 17-yard line. So they pick up a 18-yard chunk, and now we're facing a 3rd and short on the terrific setup on the screen.
I like the play call by Scheibel. I mean, set up a screen play, get some of that yardage back. And Rollins did a pretty good job of sucking the defensive linemen and defenders up the field, and a good block downfield by number 75, the left tackle, Stryker. Or I'm sorry, Skelton.
Braxton Graham, push down and more, inside the 10, inside the 5, and he's down at the 1-yard line, 16 yards on the pickup, and Seneca's knocking on the door.
I mean, watch Graham just explode through this hole. Number 34 gets a good push up front, but not really being tested until he gets to the 3rd level. This guy does a good job of high knees, keeping his legs going forward, and also lunging forward for the end zone. I like his shoes, by the way.
You would. It's like we're getting a timeout call here. And it's going to be by Maryville as Matt Webb wants to bring his defense over and talk it over at 1st and goal at the half-yard line for Seneca, down 8-0. And for a little bit more on Seneca, let's go on the sidelines right now and check in with Corey Riggs. Corey?
Hey, thanks, Scotty. You know, I talked to Dan Scheibel earlier this week, and he mentioned that getting through the Big 8 conference is like a meat grinder. You've got to play up to Class 4 teams like Carl Junction. You run into teams like Cassville that have made multiple trips to the Dome. You got to play the Lamar Tigers that have won 3 straight championships. And the Seneca Indians believe that their conference is so tough that it's got them fully prepared to take on the Spoofhounds today.
Yeah, it's interesting, Corey, you mentioned Cassville. In the playoff run, they were actually down to Cassville with a little over 3 minutes left, and they had 71 yards to go. They went the 71 yards as Rawlings hit a strike to Graham for the touchdown and the victory against Cassville to eventually move on to this state championship game. But it's a tough go, and we've already seen 2 teams from Southwest Missouri win state championships yesterday. They're trying to make it the trifecta down in Southwest Missouri here today against a very good Maryville team. 1st and goal, Rawlings. Peyton picks up his 10th touchdown of the season, and the Indians are 2 points away from tying this Class 3 championship game up.
Yeah, well, that was easy enough. You know, no need to outsmart yourself if you're a coach on the goal line. Run a good quarterback sneak. Rawlins is going to run this ball to the left side of their offensive line behind number 75 Skelton and also left guard Devin Madison. They get a good push and just creating creases for not only Graham but also Rawlins too as well.
Rawlins for the extra point. And we'll get a flag on Maryville. A little anxious on this extra point. And remember that touchdown run there that we just saw from Peyton, that was the same play they ran, remember, on that 4th and short situation.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback sneak always pretty much works. If you're, I mean, you can get a quarterback who can necessarily jump and get forward momentum. You know, just jump and put the ball over. But it all starts with the offensive line up front.
Now it looks like Dan Scheibel, the head coach.
Ball, encroachment on the defense. Half the distance and go. Repeat the try.
Looks like he's going to go for two here as they get half the distance to the goal line at the 1.5-yard line. All right, let's see what Coach Scheibel has cooked up here, buddy.
Yeah, I personally probably would have taken the points, but maybe another quarterback sneak might be the trick because now you have somebody moving. Actually, Nick Dunham, tight end. Yeah. So now you have to kick the ball.
Dead ball.
Rawlins is 36 of 50 on PATs this year.
Yeah.
And this will be a little bit longer than your normal PAT as they'll set this one up at the 14-yard line instead of the 10-yard line.
Yeah, and I would say this is not necessarily a chip shot for a high school kid anyway.
Rawlings has not attempted a field goal this season.
Right.
High snap, and it's partially blocked, and it is short.
Yeah.
And we do have a flag after the kick.
Yeah. I think it might be roughing the kicker. Yeah,
Wow.
it was. Okay, so now you get a chance to go for 2 again because it'd be half a distance to the goal.
And there you see Peyton Rawlings, the quarterback and team captain, talking over with our official.
Yeah, he's got to be careful because they ran right into his leg. You also need him at quarterback too as well.
Running into the holder and kicker on the defense. We're going to repeat the try.
Dan Scheibel, 22-14 in his short career down at Seneca. Coaching the Indians, was a 16-year assistant at Missouri Southern.
Yeah, normally you see these guys just flying off it. Oh, actually, they ran into each other and rolled into the kicker and the holder.
And they're still going to go for 1 here, and this is the traditional PAT from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. Let's go ahead and just make it a 1-point game.
We'll see if Rawlings can connect on this and make it a 1-point deficit. Good snap, good kick, and it is no good as it goes off the upright. Braxton Graham sets up the touchdown run with this 16-yard run. Seneca's in it as they trail it by 2 to the defending champs. Michael Young, Corey Riggs, Kevin Shank, and our Tyler Niles Media Group crew. Scott Warman with you. Show Me Bowl 2013, game 1 of our triple header here on Fox Sports Midwest. As you see the Seneca Indian fans, they're happy. They have got on the scoreboard. They only trail the defending state Class 3 champions, the Maryville Spoofhounds, now by a score of 8-6.
Yeah, Scotty, I was just mentioning the way that both of these two teams are moving the ball on offense. I mean, this game might turn out just like the John Burroughs game last year when Maryville defeated them. I believe it was 48-34 or something like that. But needless to say, a high-scoring game, and this might come down to whoever has the ball last. And now you're going to have to force Seneca to go for 2 points every time they score a touchdown just to stay in this game, because you already know Maryville is going to do the same thing.
Speaking of John Burroughs, that was the team Seneca defeated to make it to this title game. Huge hole on the return. McMahon into Seneca territory, and Brody has finally wrapped up at the 39-yard line of the Indians. That's the second huge return for Brody here this afternoon.
Yeah, Brody does a good job of just basically following his blockers, and the kick return team, they set up a nice wall on a left return, and you just watch Brody just work his way down the field. He also had a big punt return early in the game. But carrying the ball up, you want to see him carry it in his left hand as opposed to his right. But needless to say, anytime you cross the 50-yard line on kick return, you're doing pretty good.
46 yards, and on first down, they'll go to Brody between the tackles and wrapped up at the 36.
Yeah, now they kept that one. Yeah. Yeah, just to show you how much of a threat McMahon is running the ball. He had 3 defenders on him. And you see Nally run around on the edge, just getting a couple of yards up the field.
On second down, this is Beamer. And Dakota, the freshman, will be wrapped up by Ethan Dorland at the 31-yard line. About 2.5 yards shy of the first down for the Spoofhounds.
Peyton Dawson getting in on the act on this one for the Spoofhounds. Normally you just see him line up wide as a wide receiver, but he can carry the ball some too and can find his way in the end zone.
Spoofhounds averaging 314 rushing yards a game here in 2013. On 3rd and 2, Nally to pass. Pressure, and dives for the first down. Good effort by the senior.
Yeah, Nally just made a play on this one. Matt Webb again moving the pocket, but you watch him at 33. He gets tripped into coverage by Merriman, and then Nally just made a play and just took what he could getting up the field. That's a smart experience and good quarterback play by a 3-year starter, Trent Nally.
McMahon straight up the gut, first down and more, and Walker finally with the shoestring tackle at the 24, but not before a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, McMahon has a really good knack of being his own blocker and creating a hole where there's really no space there. I mean, a pretty decent block by number 62, but he got knocked backwards, and you just see McMahon do the rest. He doesn't need much space. Just get through one crease, and he's gone.
Spoofhounds in the red zone for the second time. Now Beamer in all kinds of trouble, and he's going to be wrapped up for a loss back to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, excellent linebacker play on the outside by Merriman, number 24, the Indians. Being the outside linebacker, if you don't make that play, then we're talking about another touchdown, possibly by the Spoofhounds.
Mentioned Dallin Merriman, leader on the defense for Seneca. 157 tackles heading into this afternoon's contest. Second and long, Nally to pass, and he's going to tuck it. Got some room. Nally, end zone, touchdown, Spoofhounds.
Yeah, that's making a play. That is making a play from a 3-year starting quarterback heading to the MIAA to go to Northwest Missouri. And yet again, just a sprint option pass with the ability to pass or run the ball, cuts it all the way across the formation where there was no one left and just walks into the end zone. It's a good job by Nally. Extending plays.
Just 6 plays, 39 yards, took a $156 as again they go for the untraditional 2-point conversion on the pitch. McMahon gets in for the 2-point conversion and makes it a 10-point lead for the Spoofhounds at 16-6.
Yeah, just going back to that touchdown, I mean, Nally was looking to throw the ball down the field, but just recognized on the play action that there was no one to his left and just saw everything kind of open up. And once you make it 1 or 2 athletic moves on the defensive lineman in the open field, it's easy pickings for Nally. And then also, too, the swinging gate to the right side of the field. Nally just lines up at quarterback, just nothing more than an option play. They're outnumbered on the outside, but those two, between Nally and McMahon, they make a play and get the 2-point conversion.
And really, to me, the whole thing was set up by the Brody McMahon 46-yard kickoff return.
I mean, we always talk about no matter what level you're on, hitting yards. Anytime you can get a big return, kickoff return, punt return, those all, and put your offense on a short field, your percentages of chances of scoring a touchdown always goes up.
Got a shot at Dan Scheibel, the head football coach for the Seneca Indians. This is only the second game this season where they played on a turf field.
Yeah. Actually,
this week they practiced on 2 different turf fields. In fact, on their way to St. Louis yesterday, they stopped at Lebanon High School to practice on the turf field. And this kick will be down by Seneca at their own 35-yard line by Hampton Yost.
You know, Scotty, you brought up the point that Maryville lost 22 starters, and I think it's starting to really show up on the defense because they're having a hard time stopping Seneca's offense. So we'll see if they can come back this drive and kind of match what Maryville has been able to do with the heavy dose of Graham. You know he's going to get the ball one way or another.
5 returners from last year's squad, but they did lose the Defensive Player of the Year. Braxton Graham on first down will pick up 10.
Play.
And that's just a quick hitter.
Yeah, just a 34 trap going right up the middle for number 34, Graham. I mean, anytime you can get quick plunge plays, attacking the center of the defense, it sets up so much more in your offense to where if you want to run outside, you can, or even the play action passes down the field.
Braxton again, this time will get 1 on the carry as Jacob Sosek was there on the stop. Now, you talked about the Maryville defense only averaging just over 10 points a game. There's only 2 games this year where they gave up 2 or more touchdowns. In fact, single points or less this year, 6 games in their 14-game schedule.
Yeah, they got a lot of girth in the middle with 76 Sasek and also Jackson Morrison, an all-state defender as well.
Graham on the pitch, breaking a couple of tackles, getting into Maryville territory, and he's wrapped up at the 47-yard line, a yard shy of the first down. 12 minutes in the books here. Show Me Bowl 2013. The defending champion Maryville Spoofhounds lead it by 10 as we head to the second quarter. The Big Red of Seneca Indians taking on the defending state champions in Class 3. There you see the good folks from Southwest Missouri on hand as we get set for the second quarter. Their team trails it by 10, but they're driving on the Spoofhounds defense right now. They're facing a third, and we'll call it less than 2 yards from the Maryville 46.5-yard line. 16-6 the score as we get set for the second quarter of play. Game one of our triple header here on Fox Sports Midwest as we have complete coverage of Show Me Bowl 2013. Michael Young, Corey Riggs, Kevin Shank, and our entire Niles Media Group crew. Great to have you alongside here at the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis. Scott Warman with you. 3rd and 2. Graham diving forward. Ooh, this is going to be close, Michael.
Yeah, I think he might have slithered through with it. Yeah, he did. Actually, he got that first down, at least from our vantage point.
He did a little Pete Rose action there.
He did. Yeah, he saw some danger coming right at him, and he just kind of slid his way through for the first down. And there's a reason why he's rushed for close to 3,000 yards, actually about 2,700 to be exact. It's a reason why he gets a lot of hitting yards himself.
Now they go with an empty backfield set. That's Braxton Graham in motion. And they'll swing it out to him. Bubble screen. Gets to the outside.
Excellent.
Great effort as they get the first down on an 11-yard pickup on that reception.
Excellent. I mean, if they're going to get the ball to Graham any way they can, he's going to need blocking not only from the offensive line, but look at the wideouts up top. And you see number 6, Chance Smith, getting in on the action. Also number 20, Dallin Merriman, just sustaining their blocks enough for him to get another first down.
Well, he's got 35 receptions for 658 yards and 11 touchdown receptions, as well as rushing for over 27 yards. Look at him spinning off tackles inside the 30.
Oh, no.
And we have our first turnover. Fumble is picked up by the Spoofhounds. And Brody McMahon is going to go the distance. No penalty flags. What a turn of events here. And now we do have one that was just flown late on the 39-yard line as Brody McMahon picks up the fumble and rumbles 70 yards for the touchdown.
I mean, you can't fault the effort from Braxton Graham for basically making a play out of nothing, and then he didn't secure the ball at the very end, trying to get that extra yard or two. You always want to have 2 hands on the ball, especially when you're experiencing contact. In the first turnover of the game, this could be pretty costly if Maryville goes down the field and scores. We talked about the battle with the 34s. Just watch Graham spin out of tackles, made a cut, and actually number 45 for the Spoofhounds knocked that ball away, and then, you know, Graham just, McMahon just does the rest.
And there was that late flag on the return. He was already gone when the clip was called on the return by the Spoofhounds. So off the turnover, they'll get it at the Seneca 49-yard line.
Yeah, that was McMahon. They're just making a play. He already knows what to do with the ball in his hands. Just turned it to a running back on that particular play.
No, the Indians need to make a stop here.
Yeah.
McMahon will pick up 2 or 3 tough yards there. Gabe Martin, number 61 for Seneca on the stop.
Yeah, we'll just kind of go back to that play, the illegal block, and just a clip at the last second by Elijah Green, linebacker, just trying to free his man. If you can't see the front of his numbers, don't block him.
Dakota Beamer gets to the 46 for a 2-yard gain.
I mean, you got to be pretty impressed with Dakota Beamer. I mean, being a freshman, I remember my old teammate, Scotty, you brought him up, Ricardo Rhodes. I mean, he took the state of Missouri by storm.
He did.
Coming in and playing as a freshman, They got us as close to the semifinal game and lost to Parkway Central. But then our senior year, we ended up winning the state championship.
Not big in stature, but I have a huge heart.
Oh, yeah.
Nally looking, throws wide open, complete inside the 20. Inside the 10, and Beamer pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. 43 yards on the reception, and what poise by Nally there to wait enough time to find two spoof hounds wide open.
Yeah, Dawson came back for him on that scramble drill, and a touchdown saving tackle by the Indians defense, Chan Smith. But Dawson doing a good job. And Nally moving on the perimeter. Anytime you have a defensive tackle lose the edge, and Skelton, just like he did, kept his eyes down the field, and Dawson got it.
McMahon, wrestled to the ground. Terrific tackle made by Dallas Schick.
Dallas Schick did a really good job. Just kind of stand in the middle, taking that away. Got two hands on him. I don't think anybody's going to escape him. That's a big fella right there.
Second and goal for the Spoof Hounds. Brody again, touchdown.
Yeah, just a little veer play for McMahon. Got a flag on the field, though.
And we'll do it again. I think you take a look at the bottom of your screen on this replay. We'll see the receiver look like he moved before the snap. Hence the penalty here against the Spoof Hounds.
Yeah, you got to be able to hold your water on the outside, and that was Hagen Snow who they might have called for that.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat the down.
Well, needless to say, that penalty doesn't take them out of the red zone, but it makes it longer for the goal line. So they have enough plays in their arsenal, I believe, to at least get close to the goal line and potentially score.
Second and goal from the 8. Beamer with the cut, and he's cut down at the 6. Gain of 3.
Excellent open field tackle by DeLon Merriman, number 24, the Indians. Just tracking Beamer all the way across the field and making a solid open field tackle, forcing the Spoof Hounds to take another snap. That's what you want to do on defense, especially down on the goal line, because bad things always happen to the offense the more snaps they take.
He looks like he wants to go up top. Pressure, and he'll take it in again for his second touchdown of the afternoon. Spoof Hounds now up 22-6.
I mean, it's just way too easy for him down on the goal line. Another design rollout to come to their right side of the field, and everything just kind of opens up for him again. See, they're going to set up the play-action pass, just a boot waggle pass, and he kind of looks back to his left.
Is that a design play?
I don't think it is. I just think this is just a guy just making the play.
That's exactly how he scored the first one. Now for the two-point conversion. And nowhere to go. And so no two-point conversion. 8:56 left here in the half. It's all Maryville.
Welcome back inside the dome, everybody. The Seneca Indians trail Maryville. It's 22-6. Today's telecast is brought to you by Bommarito Automotive Group. Bommarito, Missouri, #1 automotive group now for the 4th year in a row, outselling everybody in the entire state of Missouri, and just recently named the 15th largest automotive group in the country. And Scott and Michael, you know, Coach Matt Webb at Maryville is a master motivator. Every year he takes the team as they make the playoff run, and he takes their gear away from them. He takes their helmets, and he takes that all-important Maryville M off the side, and he replaces it with something. This year he put a chrome M on the side of their helmet and told them that even though you graduated 22 teammates a year ago, it's your time to shine under the big lights of the dome. Right now the Spoof Hounds are shining in 2013 again.
Exactly right, Corey. They are shining after responding after that touchdown by Seneca. And the Indians will take this kickoff return to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Scott, you made a good point. You know, whether it was designed run back.
The touchdown.
The touchdown. And you know what? I just think it's now they're just making the play. But I just noticed that he did look to his left rather quick as opposed to looking down the field. And he went in for another touchdown.
Peyton Rollins, the 3-year starting quarterback for Seneca, hands the ball off on first down to Braxton Graham. Graham rushed for over 2,700 yards heading into today's game, 38 touchdowns, school record, and also over 650 yards receiving.
So you got a 27 on his ACTs too. Pretty smart kid.
Rawlings tripped up. Great play defensively, as it looked like Jackson Morrison, one of the defensive leaders on that line for the Spoof Hounds, made a terrific open field tackle.
Yeah, an all-state defender too as well. Actually got sent on a blitz on that particular play. Tripping up Rawlins before he had a chance to get moving.
Rawlins last week in the semifinal championship was 67 for 97 yards. Back up top again, feels the heat. He's going to tuck it, and he'll get the first down. Excellent effort by the senior quarterback as he's wrapped up right at midfield for a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, tremendous effort by Rawlins, feeling that pressure, but then also saw pretty much the Red Sea part in front of him, and he just went ahead and just made a play and just got up the field and just got what he could. You know, the pocket's collapsing from number 33 on the outside, just out of his reach, and then all of a sudden you just see Rawlins go up the field for a first down.
Quick hitter, and it's complete to Dorland, and Ethan will get to the 33-yard line, as that was a quick no-huddle by Seneca that really caught the Spoof Hounds kind of flat-footed because they're trying to make a defensive change.
Yeah, quick no-huddle. It went on the first sound. Basically a quick inside slant play, high percentage pass, caught Dorland in stride, and then now you just see these guys trying to get in the rhythm of their offense again. 17
yards on the pickup. Now on first down. Oh, dangerous pass, and somehow it's caught by Chance Smith, but was almost intercepted. As you see, Dalton Pistol there almost came up with a pick.
Yeah, Dalton Pistol read that ball the correct way from a cornerback position. He's just squatting out in the open field, and he's reading the quarterback's intentions the whole way. He did everything right except intercept the ball, but you got to credit Chance Smith. His head came around later before you knew it, the ball was sitting right in his lap.
3 yards on the reception. Now back to Graham. Nowhere to go.
Yeah,
lost a yard.
Defensive line for the Spoof Hounds. They're doing a tremendous job of getting quick penetration. Anytime that you see a negative play or a no-game play, especially on Graham, I mean, who does a pretty good job of being his own blocker at times, the defensive line, they're doing a pretty solid job.
Seventh play of the drive for the Indians. Sets up the screen. Graham. Oh, popped at the 26, about 2.5 yards shy of the first down. Terrific tackle by number 35, John Schenkel. We've seen some great tackling in this game, haven't we?
Yeah, good form tackling at that. I mean, Schenkel in the open field. Just watch number 35 coming from the right of your screen. Nice, solid hit. Took his legs away from him and knocked him backwards. You know, Coach Scheibel tried to go back to that screen pass that gave him success in the first half, or the first quarter. But nothing doing on it.
4th and 2. Graham, nowhere to go as the Spoof Hounds get the stop, and they'll take over on downs.
Excellent job by number 43, Tyler Coleman, getting the initial hit and surge. And then the rest of the troops just came on in. Again, for the Spoof Hounds defense.
Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Corey Riggs.
Hey, thanks, Scotty. You know, Michael, you talk about this defense having to change from last year to this year, but the numbers are still staggering. They only give up 10.3 points per game, and then they were plus 20 in the turnover margin. These guys win the battles that matter, don't they?
They do. And, I mean, you're talking about a coach who has a philosophy with the defense that getting a lot of turnovers. I mean, sometimes the defense may bend. As long as it doesn't break, you get a turnover. We just seen what happened the previous drive with McMahon. I mean, these guys are staying in the game.
Just over 5 minutes left in our opening half of this Class 3 championship game. Spoofhounds with the football and the lead, and a big gain here into Seneca territory. Inside the 40, down to the 39-yard line as Brody McMahon explodes for a huge gain.
I mean, you just look at Brody McMahon right here, number 34. Starts out to his right, cuts it back to his left, and then watch him accelerate, re-accelerate down the field. And if it wasn't for number 6, Chance Smith, McMahon might be hitting his head on the goalpost for another touchdown.
Brody with a 22-yard pickup. Now an end around, and that would have worked if Peyton Dawson could have kept his footing there. Tripped up. Only a gain of 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jacob Walker either tripped him on accident with his foot or he got a hand in there, but Dawson was off to the races on that misdirection reverse play. I was starting to see the Spoofhounds offense kind of open up a little bit, throwing some wrinkles in there.
Malley fumbles the snap, and he'll make something out of nothing.
He still gets about 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, into the 34-yard line. Gets about 4 yards on that pickup.
He fumbled the snap, but he always looks to escape to his left. That's where the bigger side of their offensive line is with Jackson Morrison, number 75. The most athletic guard in the 3-year starter, and also number 58, Regrew.
Well, the Indians need to pin their ears back here and try to get a stop.
Yeah.
Down 22-6, 3rd and 5. Beamer breaks a tackle, and he'll get 2 on that, and it'll be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, Merriman, little linebacker for the Indians on defense. Normally, well, he's leading the team in tackles, but normally you want to see him just wrap up. Because if he would have stopped Beamer initially, he might not have been able to lunge forward for just a few more yards.
Maryville 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions today. 4th and a long yard. Nally pitches. Beamer gets it and more in the red zone. Wrapped up at the 15-yard line. Jeff Butler finally brings the freshman down, make it Peyton Dawson who on the carry gets the first down.
Yeah, Dawson did an excellent job of pretty much making a play. But if you just watch number 29, the in-man on the line of scrimmage for the Indians, he kind of messed that play up in the beginning. But needless to say, Dawson made a good play.
16 yards on the carry for Peyton. Alley on play action, throws, caught, touchdown, Spoofhounds.
I guess you could say that was a design play action pass where he looked down the field and saw his favorite target, McMahon, running down the middle of the field. That's what play action does for you. You have a lot of open seams because you have the linebackers, the safeties flying downhill trying to protect their gap. And before you know it, you're off to the races. No restriction to the end zone.
Pistol formation on the 2-point conversion. Nally will get it. 30-6 with 2:41 remaining in the opening half. And the defending Class 3 champions are on a roll.
You're just going back to that touchdown. You just watch McMahon in the center of your screen running uncontested. I mean, that's what the play action does for you. Once the linebackers figured out that he wasn't getting the ball, it was too late. He was already in the secondary. Got a touchdown reception for the state championship game. Yeah, you can see number 29, True Love, and 20, Merriman, just flying downhill, trying to get to the line of scrimmage towards that gap, and they just lose McMahon in the shuffle. Just goes upfield. It's an easy pitch and catch for Nally to McMahon.
And Nally, that is his second completion. Throwing the football here this afternoon in this championship game.
You know, at first I thought for a second that in this game that passing was going to be illegal because yesterday we had some teams win without even throwing or completing a pass.
Illegal.
So now they're trying to open it up a little bit on both sides of the ball. But, I mean, you can just go back to that turnover that was fumbled by Graham. I mean, now Maryville pretty much got this game under control.
7 plays, 70 yards, 258 on the 4th touchdown of the afternoon for the Spoofhounds. Chance Smith returns it to the 44-yard line. Indians got their work cut out for them. 2:32 left here in the first half. They trail by a score of 30-6.
Well, the one positive thing for Coach Scheibel and the Indians, they have been able to move the ball pretty successful, but a turnover here or a stall drive there, just got to kind of settle in and just practice your offense at this point. And the offensive line has to do a better job of sustaining their blocks up front.
Screen set up, caught, and a pickup of 5 yards as Ethan Dorland's there on the receiving end of the pass by Peyton Rawlins.
Yeah, and I would like to see these guys, the Seneca Indians, kind of pick up the tempo. You know, when they moved the ball down the field initially, you know, they were going on first snap, no huddle, just kind of keeping the Maryville defense off balance, and just now they're just kind of taking their time.
Pressure, Rawlins.
Nowhere.
And he'll be wrapped up for the sack as he'll lose a yard. Great effort by the senior quarterback as he tried to avoid the big pass rush by Maryville.
Yeah, he did. Joseph McClung got him. Actually kind of threw him forward for a yard or two. But then now you start to see the Spoofhounds just kind of, like you said, Scotty, pinning their ears back and just really getting after Rawlins.
3rd and 6, Rawlins, and he's
what a play.
Sacked back at the 37-yard line.
What a play by Adam Thompson from his defensive end position. My goodness. Just look to the left of your screen, actually fight off Graham's block and just kind of swallow up Rawlins in the backfield. You talk about an athlete. Number 1, not losing contain, and then 2, making the play.
Maryville calls their second timeout of the opening half. Stops the clock with 49 seconds left.
Remember, Corey was telling me a story about Thompson before the beginning of the game. You know, you throw to him. He had a pretty good story on Thompson. I guess we'll get to him later, but I remember you also told me his first year at tight end for him. Switched from running back.
He was originally a running back, Adam was, and switched to the tight end position on the offensive side of things.
I mean, 4th and long now for the Indians. And now you punt the ball back to the ever-dangerous McMahon on the receiving end as a punt returner. If I'm the Indians, just angle punt the ball out of bounds.
He's had a 25-yard punt return. Also a 46-yard kickoff return. Rawlins gets a good snap. This is a good kick. And it'll take a Seneca bounce, and McMahon will let it go.
That's an excellent kick.
And Seneca will down it at the Maryville 3-yard line with, again, 39 seconds remaining in our opening half of play of this Class 3 championship.
Yeah, I mean, with 39 seconds remaining, and then you pretty much pin them deep on the 3-yard line, at least your chances are pretty good for on the defensive side of the ball because you're putting Maryville on a long field. Just got to pretty much stay gap sound because you know that trap play is coming right up the gut and feeding number 34, McMahon.
Coming up here as we wrap up this opening half of play, Corey Riggs will be talking it over with the Maryville Spoofhounds head coach Matt Webb. His team, 1st and 10 from their own 3 as they're going to run out the opening 24 minutes of this state title game here at the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis.
I mean, if you're Coach Webb, you couldn't really ask for a better start in the first half. Good field position on special teams, pretty solid defense after you got hurt a little bit. And offensively, I mean, they're pretty much in control of this game with Nally and McMahon. And then also, too, getting some freshman help from Beamer.
Very good-looking freshman.
Yeah.
As we wrap up the opening half of play in game 1 of our triple header here on Fox Sports Midwest of the 2013 Show Me Bowl Day 2 coverage. And at the half, as the Spoofhounds and the Indians head into the locker room, it's all the defending state champions in Class 3. Maryville leads it by a score of 30-6 as Coach Matt Webb's Spoofhounds, very impressive in the opening 24 minutes of play against the Seneca Indians, who have won 11 of their last 12 games heading into this afternoon's title game. And speaking of Coach Webb, he's with Corey Riggs right now. Corey?
Hey, thanks, Scott. I am here with Coach Matt Webb. Coach, really opening up the playbook today, letting your quarterback go 2 or 3. What's working in the passing game so far? You guys are so run dominant, but he's really hit his target.
Well, he's an amazing young man. He's a great leader. He's a good athlete, both running the ball and throwing the ball. We're able to, our offense kind of takes what they gives you, and we're going to be able to do some things here the second half as well, and got to, go off and finish the game strong.
This defense has fought so hard for you all year long. They barely give up 10 points a game. How do you assess their first half performance?
I think it's pretty good. We got to tackle better. 34 is a heck of a back, and we got to tackle better individually and as a team, but we just got to stay on top of what we're doing.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Appreciate it. Back up to you guys.
Corey, Coach, thanks so much. As Matt Webb heads into the locker room, his team leads it by 24 at the half. Coming up at the half, Jim Powers and Rich Nixon will break it down here on Fox.
Welcome back to the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis for the 2013 Missouri State High School Activities Association Show Me Bowl. Maryville on top of Seneca here in the Class 3 Championship, 30-6. Want to thank our great friends at the Barmerito Automotive Group for sponsoring today's broadcast. Make sure you go to barmerito.com and like us on Facebook to win. Currently, every week we award a lucky winner a $25 gift card, plus every 2 weeks the lucky winner can fuel up and win a $100 QT gift card or $100 to any one of the famous Michael Del Pietro restaurants. Just log in to barmerito.com to win. We want to thank those great folks here as we come back down to the field here down at the Edward Jones Dome. Rich Nixon, Jim Powers, glad to have you with us here on Super Saturday here at the Dome. And Rich, it's been really super for the Spoofhounds. They just pick right back up where they leave off with that running game, and they're just absolutely doing some great things.
Well, here's the deal. In pregame, we talked about it a little bit, and they're just – it truly is a matchup of David versus Goliath here. They're huge. I mean, they're big across the board. They're big defensively. Their linebackers are flying around. Seneca is actually giving them a heck of a fight. I mean, they're really – the kids are battling, would be extremely proud as a coach in the locker room. These guys, they're doing everything that they could try and possibly do, but at the end of the day, they are just overmatched.
I mean, Seneca's done some nice things offensively. They've mixed it up a little bit. They've gotten it down into the red zone, but I think where this whole thing turned around was the fumble after the 13-yard carry.
Well, that's, you can't turn the ball over in big games for sure, but I still, if this was an 18-20 ball game in the fourth quarter, I would still have money on Maryville taking it to them for another 18 points. They're just so much more dominant. I mean, from the quarterback position, the offensive line, the running backs, they've got comparable kids on the field. And I can also tell you this, whatever Coach Webb's doing in the weight room, keep doing it, it's working. His kids are bigger, they're stronger, they're more physical, and it just shows.
And he's done such a great job with bringing this program to where it's at. And you just hit it on the head. They are so talented up front. It's unbelievable. And that springs the rushing game.
Well, and you know what? It also, it kind of, to me, it's really funny how all the success that Northwest Missouri State has had and is having, and that permeates down into Maryville High School and into the community at large. I mean, that's a winning community right now. Everything in that town, everything they touch turns to gold.
Absolutely. Rich Nixon will be back here in a few minutes. Talk a little bit more about what Seneca needs to do to get themselves back here in the game. And let's look at this running game by Maryville. They're doing a great job. The Spoofhounds lead 30-6. When we come back, the executive director of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, Kerwin Erhan, joins us. It's the 2013 Show Me Bowl at the Dome. Welcome back to downtown St. Louis and the Edward Jones Dome in the 2013 Missouri State High School Activities Association Show Me Bowl. I'm Jim Powers. Glad to have you with us, and I'm joined by a very good friend, the executive director of MISHA. It's Dr. Kerwin Erhan. And Kerwin, it's hard to believe that we are here 1/3 through the 2013-14 school year.
It just goes so fast, Jim. And we just started our fall season, seems like yesterday, and now we're finishing up. Our winter season is already playing games, and they started practice about 3 weeks ago, and we're going. It's that time of year, and we're going to be moving into our activities. Will start kicking off now. We'll have our Scholar Bowl, our speech, debate, and theater will be going into their season, and it'll all be moving forward. And in January, the music begins to play, and we'll have music festivals throughout the state going on for qualifying for our state music festival. So it's just, it goes from one thing to the next.
And that's the great thing, too, is we don't just talk about sports. There's a lot of other great activities that students can participate in.
That's the wonderful thing about high school sports and activities is we try to find things that all kids can shine in, something that they're going to have a niche, someplace where they can show their talents, their skills, and it's not just on the sports field. The amazing thing about watching the kids who perform in band and choir or in a Scholar Bowl competition, it's just amazing what talents they do have. And that's the great thing about it. We even have some other ones that are on the emerging aspect where we have chess. That's just a few schools away from being able to maybe have a state series here in a couple of years. We had bass fishing at it, as well as bowling and target shooting. Those are areas of activities that don't necessarily touch the mainstream, the kids who are doing things now. And so just trying to expand what offerings that their schools have for our kids throughout the state.
Outstanding, Kerwin. It's always great to catch up with you, and it's been an exciting couple days of football here, but it's just get ready to get bigger and better.
Always, Jim. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Kerwin Erhan, the Executive Director of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, joins us. Glad to have you with us. We'll be back right after this to downtown St. Louis, the Edward Jones Dome, and the 2013 Missouri State High School Activities Association Show Me Bowl. Welcome back to the Edward Jones Dome here in downtown St. Louis. Jim Powers, Rich Nixon. It's the Class 3 state championships, part of the Missouri State High School Activities Association Show Me Bowl. And Rich, the stats are going to be very one-sided as we take a look at the Barmerito Automotive Group stats here for the first half. It's all rushing. It's all the Spoof Hounds.
Well, anytime you're going to dominate a statistical category like that and the turnover margin or ratio, you're going to have success, and that's what Maryville's done. They're playing championship defense, championship offense, championship special teams, all three phases. Spoof Hounds rolling.
They're doing such a great job. When you look at not only the rushing yards, they're also throwing it a little bit. Not typically a team that we see passing, but they've got 58 yards through the air.
Well, and they're throwing the ball effectively or efficiently. When the coach decides to put the ball in the air, it's being caught, it's being productive, they're moving the sticks with it.
Outstanding. Let's go over to Corey Riggs. He has the head coach for the Indians, Dan Scheibel.
Thanks, Jimmy. Coach, a rough first half for Seneca. What do you change in the offense here in the second half to get running on the Spoof Hounds?
Well, I think our pass protection's got to improve, and I think we got to get the ball up inside a little bit. They've taken our off-tackle game away from us. We're going to try to run up inside a little bit, and we got to throw the ball a little bit. We ran several screens, draws, try to keep them off of us. We've got to try to keep them off balance if we can.
What do you try to do to slow down that run game? They even got a couple of deep passes up that first half.
Well, we've got to be able to put more people at the line of scrimmage and be able to have more people up in the box. And then you still got the concern of the pass. The boot passes really hurt us.
All right, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Thank you. Back over to you now, Jimmy.
Thanks so much, Corey. And Seneca looking to get themselves going offensively. They've got a big hill to climb. They trail 30-6 against the defending Class 3 state champions, Maryville. You've got it all right here. It's the 2013 Show Me Bowl here at the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis.
Cheerleaders from Seneca as their Indians trailing as we get set for the second half here. Show Me Bowl 2013 in this Class 3 title game against the defending champion Maryville Spoof Hounds, 30-6 here at the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis. Welcome back upstairs to the broadcast booth with Michael Young, Scout Warman. Hope you're having a fantastic Thanksgiving weekend as we bring you 6 games, 3 yesterday, and of course the triple header today with our game 1 today in this Class 3 championship. Any surprises at all? We know the Spoof Hounds are a terrific football team, defending champions, but any surprise at the score at this point?
Well, I am surprised because Seneca, they were able to move the ball so well in the first half, but then once that turnover came and McMahon picked it up and ran the ball down to Seneca's territory, it seems like the wheels just happened to come off for the Indians. So I just want to see those guys just kind of reestablish themselves in the second half, get the momentum back, because they've been able to move the ball pretty effective. They just haven't been able to finish drives.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the opening half of play, and we'll start things off with the Spoof Hounds. And Dakota Beamer got the scoring start.
Yeah, Dakota Beamer, freshman, 8th grade last year, coming on the big stage, getting things started, the momentum going for the Spoof Hounds. And then another play-action boot pass to where you just see Nally, just being an athlete, recognizing that there's no one to his left. He decides to walk right into the end zone.
That was the first of 2 touchdowns for Nally. Second quarter, basically the same play again, just a little bit more shorter yardage for the touchdown run for Trent to make it a 22-0 score. And then he went up top and he finds Brody McMahon on the touchdown reception.
Yeah, that's what the play-action pass does for you. The effective running game of McMahon and company, and then he just running right open down the middle of the seam. And then also Graham, too, showing a little bit of effort getting close to the end zone that set up a touchdown for Seneca, which happened to be this quarterback sneak by Rollins.
Rollins gets the touchdown. That was an impressive drive. At that point, it made it 8-6 was the score at that stage, but then 22 points reeled off by Maryville. Hence, we have the score heading into the second half by a score of 30-6. What has impressed you, Michael, more than anything else from Maryville in this opening?
I would just say the offensive line play, and then having not that many starters coming back. I mean, 3 starters, which are pretty much at your key position with the quarterback and then the running game. But then defensively, they kind of settled in. They took a punch early in the mouth, and then, you know what, they just came back and rallied.
And there you see the Spoof Hounds gathering here, getting set for the second half. And you mentioned 22 players from the Spoof Hounds that graduate from last year's squad, and yet they have another undefeated season. 29 victories in a row heading into this afternoon's game against Seneca in this state championship game. And you really got to be impressed with the composure of this team with so many new faces on Matt Webb's team.
Well, I would have to imagine last year that Coach Matt Webb brought these kids up who were playing in this game right now when they were just observing, kind of getting the rhythm of what it means to travel on a state championship schedule, what it is to get up, have the pregame meal, get tape, just get your timing down. And once they settled in, I mean, they haven't really missed a beat. I mean, you just go back to some of their stats at the beginning of the season to where they're getting turnovers. They held opponents to 10 points per game. And then now just a little bit of a rocky start at the beginning. But then now they've settled in, and now they have a bead on a pretty prolific offense in the Indians.
Let's check back in with Corey Riggs on a little bit more on this terrific program they have up in Maryville. Corey?
Well, Scott, you guys mentioned it. They're 29-0. They've got a winning streak going. This year they were 14-0. Again, coming in today's game, they're perfect. But being a Spoof Hound means more than just the varsity being perfect. The JV went undefeated this year, 9-0. The Spoof Hound freshman team went undefeated, 9-0. Heck, even the 7th and 8th grade teams went undefeated this year. And you throw on top of it Northwest Missouri State, the Bearcats in Maryville. They got an undefeated season going too, guys.
Yeah, there's some pretty good football going on up in Northwest Missouri. We saw a lot of it from Southwest Missouri. And let's not take anything away from the Seneca Indians, because Dan Schabel's squad, deservedly so, making it into this state championship game. But what a machine Coach Webb has rolling up there in Maryville, Missouri. As Corey alluded to, all the teams from junior high up to this varsity squad undefeated this season, as you see some of the younger fans from the Indian side, and Dan Scheibel trying to get his Indians fired up here for the second half of play as they trail it by 24. They will get the receiving end of this kickoff, so they should have the first possession on offense in the second half, and we'll see how they try to do things offensively. Probably a more of a pass-oriented team compared to Maryville, but still they really rely on Braxton Graham. But I would imagine that Rawlings is probably going to have to go up top a little bit more. Rawlings was 8 of 10 in the pass department in the opening half of play. Chance Smith on the return as we start the second half of play in this Class 3 state championship game from the Edward Jones Dome here in St. Louis, Missouri.
And right now, the Indians have pretty favorable field position, just roughly 60 yards to go until they get to the end zone. But whether or not they get down to the red zone, they have to be able to finish drives. They can't turn the ball over. You got to stay on rhythm. Graham's going to get the ball a lot, but when you have the opportunity to push the ball down the field and stretch out this defense, you got to take it.
Braxton on the first down carry, and he'll get a half a yard. Seneca had 7 plays of 10 or more yards, all in the teens. Meanwhile, Maryville had 10 plays, explosive plays of 10 yards or more, but 4 of those 10 were over 29 yards. So you see a little bit of the difference on the explosive plays for each team in the first half. Rawlings, that pass behind his intended receiver, Dallin Merriman, the senior, the leading receiver on this Seneca Indian Ball Club.
Yeah, well, one thing Coach Scheibel talked about, he talked about getting some screens, not necessarily to Graham. I mean, you can do a bubble screen to the right side or to the left side of the field, just something high percentage until Rollins can get in the better rhythm of completing passes to his wide receivers and running backs down the field.
Seneca 5 of 8 on third down conversions. This is a 3rd and 9. Rawlings has all kinds of time. He's going to tuck it, and he's going to be very short of the first down. John Schenkel and company were there. Kind of had their radar on number 5.
Yeah, pretty decent coverage down the field, but Rollins, I mean, again, some of the green hash just taking away some of their real estate, so you can just pretty much say that was a coverage sack. Might have had some guys open down the field, but he just didn't see him.
Peyton handles the punting chores along being the quarterback, and this is a really good kick. McMahon from his own 18. Brody will carry it to the 24-yard line. Each team in the opening half of play had 31 plays, but for the Maryville Spoofhounds, 26 of those 31 plays happened on Seneca's end of the field.
Yeah, that just goes back to special teams. I mean, that punt return by McMahon, that kickoff return by McMahon, that had a lot to do with it.
Fumble recovery.
The fumble recovery. I mean, anytime you can work on a short field for an explosive offense, it just makes your chances greater of actually scoring a touchdown.
Just saw Nally's numbers in the opening half of play. They'll start with the ground game, and Beamer is wrapped up. No gain. Jeff Butler on the stop.
Yeah, Jeff Butler, and also, number 20, Dallin Merriman, just flying down the hill as a linebacker. You know, it's the second tackle he's missed. He's getting to the ball carries, but you got to wrap up, grab cloth. Because if he breaks that tackle, he's in the open field.
Nally to pass on second down, throws, and it is caught. What a catch. Wrapped up inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Spectacular catch by Brody McMahon out of the backfield.
And it just came back to that same play that gave him success before the end of the half. You just see number 34 streaking down the middle of your screen and actually made McNally right. He kind of overshot him, but McMahon had the athletic wherewithal to tip the ball to himself in stride and catch a completed pass, and they're back in Seneca's territory.
38 yards on the catch and run. Now they back to pass again. Downfield, incomplete. As running that pattern there, that post pattern for Maryville was Adam Thompson.
Yeah, you see Matt Webb just going for the knockout shot. Anytime you see teams get to their opponent's 40-yard line, go ahead and just take a shot. Push the ball down the field, get a vertical passing game going. You never know what may happen. But I'm assuming they're getting ready to run this play right now.
Off the no huddle, they run the reverse. This is Dawson, Peyton Dawson. And he'll get a first down, but we have a penalty flag back near the line of scrimmage.
And this is another form of a pass play, just a misdirection reverse. You know, faking the ball to Beamer. And then he hands it off to Dawson, just working his way through traffic. But you got holding, too, as well on the offensive line. That's probably one of the things that they haven't done correct all day for the Spoof Hounds. See it here. I believe it comes...
Holding,
I guess hold, yeah.
On the offense. Repeat second down.
It came on the perimeter of the field. Lead by number 55 for the Spoof Hounds, or 75 for the Spoof Hounds. Morrison.
That's the first penalty of the afternoon for Maryville. Second and a mile. Nally outside. Nally. First down. And finally, Merriman will wrestle him out of bounds at the 17-yard line. 27 yards on the pickup.
Well, this is impressive by Nally. I mean, watch his poise in the pocket. Just kind of sidesteps a rusher bearing down on him, keeping his eyes down the field and just outrunning everyone except for when he gets to Merriman. And Merriman didn't want to have a horse collar, but Nally had positive yards again.
McMahon will get the carry out of the pistol formation. No, he won't. Nally will keep it, and Nally will go to the end zone for his third touchdown of the afternoon. A terrific fake off the pistol from McMahon, and Nally carries it from the outside, and the Spoof Hounds are on the board again. Wow.
Yeah, Nally is such a great athlete. Talking about riding, gliding, and deciding. Puts the ball right in the belly, and then he just kind of takes the ball away and sees the edge. No one was on the outside. Just decided to make a play and go in for another touchdown.
Now a fumble on the two-point conversion, no good. So the score sticks at 36-6. 9:39 left here in the third quarter. It's all Spoofhounds here in our Class 3 championship game as we have a penalty flag before we head to a break here. And we'll get the official indication from our referee from this afternoon.
We had an illegal shift on the kicking team. Penalties decline. Points no good.
Now we go to a break. 36-6. Maryville with the 30-point lead.
Welcome back to the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis. Maryville leads Seneca 36-6 in the Class 3 state championship here in the state of Missouri. Our broadcast today, once again, is being brought to you by our great friends at the Barmerito Automotive Group. Barmerito.com is currently Missouri's #1 searched automotive website. Make sure you log on from your desktop, iPad, or mobile phone 24/7 for all of your automotive needs. Savings on your next new or used car purchase is just a click away where Price sells cars. Great second half being set up here by Maryville. Let's go back upstairs. Scott Warman and Michael Young.
Jimmy, thanks so much. Last play for the Spoofhounds. 6 plays, 76 yards. Took just 67 seconds. They lead it 36-6. And again, kickoff taken by the up back for the Seneca Indians. And that's Jacob Truelove. Check this out, Spoofhounds, with just 67 seconds. That's their quickest strike for a score today. $148 on their first drive, $156 on their second drive, $223 and $258. So not a drive over 3 minutes in all their scores you hear this afternoon.
Yeah, and they're pretty much doing it without pushing the ball down the field. I mean, they had a pass play here and there, but this is primarily on the ground.
Braxton Graham with a huge hole into Maryville territory, and he gets a big gain to the 42-yard line, 16 yards on the carry for the senior.
Yeah, Coach Scheibel has to do more of this. You're going to see number 56 just pull from his right to his left. Madison clearing open a hole for Graham to get down the field in a hurry into the third level.
Braxton had 65 yards in the first half, and he gets a nice chunk to the 36. Give him 6 on that first down carry. Now over 2,800 yards rushing this season, 38 touchdowns, which is a record, and also just under 700 yards receptions. 49 total touchdowns in 2013 for Braxton, as he'll get the carry again on second down.
Yeah, 3 straight plays on a 34 trap. You know, even numbers go to the right side of the line. And he's just basically just going right off that guard's butt, which happens to be Madison, number 56, who's been doing a good job when they've run that trap play up the middle. But I want to see a little bit of play action, at least try to get Rawlins to push the ball down the field some, because running this 34 trap's not going to get you necessarily back into this game.
Seneca 5 of 8 on third downs in the first half. On the 3rd and 2, Rawlins goes with the sneak, and he'll get enough for the first down.
Yeah, maybe a nice screen play coming up here and there, or just something to the boundary, to the short side of the field, right to the near sideline, because this is a tough throw for a quarterback to throw the ball to the opposite hash of the field.
I like the tempo by the Indians offense here. Pitch, Graham, wrapped up, nice open field tackle, no gain. In fact, loss of a couple of yards. Great pursuit by that Spoofhounds defense.
Yeah, Adam Thompson. Left defensive end, fighting off his blockers, and then just being able to grab cloth and get down Graham. As you see Graham just waiting for the pitch, and you're going to see 33 just chase him down in the open field. Talking about an athletic play. Like you said before, came into high school originally as a running back, and then you need speed on the edges, and for that purpose to run down running backs just like Graham.
Rawlins throws downfield, and it's intercepted. Our second turnover of the afternoon. This pick coming from Dalton Pistol, as Dalton gets the pick, his 5th interception of the season.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Coach Scheibel getting aggressive, doing a play-action pass on a post corner route down the field. But Pistol did a really good job of actually just sinking on his side of the field and just stepping in front of the wide receiver getting the ball, and then going up and high pointing this ball at his highest point, undercutting that throw. It's an excellent job. Another turnover for the Spoofhounds.
And what a shame for Seneca. They seem to actually get a little bit of a rhythm that we hadn't seen since the first quarter on offense. McMahon And he passes the 1,800-yard mark, or excuse me, 1,200-yard mark in rushing with that carry to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, you see the Spoof Hounds coming back with their own version of just a quick hit and trap play going right up the gut. I mean, you're giving this guy pretty much a head start when he doesn't get touched until he gets to the second level, which happens to be the linebackers.
There's that reverse again to Dawson, this time sniffed out nicely, as Jacob Truelove was not fooled at all.
Yeah, Truelove did an outstanding job of, number one, sifting that play out and working his way through traffic and getting a tackle for loss, and at least getting some negative plays created on pretty much a Spoof Hounds offense that's been able to do whatever they wanted to this afternoon.
Loss of 5 for Payton. 2nd and 15 for the Spoof Hounds. They're up by 30 here in the third quarter. Under 7 minutes left. Now a sack for the first time this afternoon. Jeff Butler and company leading the way for their first sack this afternoon for the Seneca Indians.
Yes, Coach Scheibel said, hey, we got to keep these guys down on their own goal line. Sending multiple bodies up front, and number 55, Jack Butler, just cleaned them up.
3rd and 24 now for the Spoof Hounds. They have yet to punt in this Class 3 title game. Stick to the ground game, and McMahon's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. Matt Eust on the tackle.
Yeah, good series for the defense in totality for the Indians. I mean, good defensive line play, causing negative plays, and now they force their first punt of the afternoon.
And it could set up the Indians with terrific field position here. As Braxton Graham is standing at his own 40. He has 2 punt returns for touchdowns this season, and that is a drive. And Maryville will down it in Seneca territory, and the Indians offense will have their next possession at their own 47, down by 30. Seneca Indians band and their fans trying to rally the troops as their team trails it by 35-28 left in our third quarter of play. Class 3 title game here at the Edward Jones Dome, along with Michael Young, Corey Riggs, Kevin Shank, and our entire Niles Media Group crew. Scott Warman with you. Great to have you alongside game 1 of our triple header day 2 coverage here on Fox Sports Midwest of Show Me Bowl 2013. Peyton Rawlings has just thrown his first interception of the afternoon, trying to rally the Indians. And on the quarterback draw, we'll get into Maryville territory.
Yeah, if no one's open down the field, you know, just keep continuing to extend the play. And Rawlings has done a pretty good job of that. But I think at times he's pulled the ball down a little too quickly because he's missed some open wide receivers. But needless to say, you know, 2nd and 5 looks a lot better than 2nd and 10, or I'm sorry, 2nd and 15 or 2nd and 12.
Best field position to start off for Seneca on that first punt that we just saw from Maryville from their own 47-yard line, and they get enough on that carry for a first down from Braxton Graham.
Yeah, Coach Scheibel just going to stick with the guy who he's relied on all season, and Braxton Graham, just to keep running that trap play right through the core of the Spoof Hounds defense.
Braxton Graham last week in the victory against John Burroughs had 3 touchdown runs, had a season-high 46 carries for 268. He's nowhere near that here today. And they'll go underneath the Chance Smith, and he'll run out of bounds at the 33-yard line, about 2 yards shy of the first down as they get 8 yards on the pass reception.
That's a good one-handed catch, too, by Chance Smith. And going in the open field, having the wherewithal to stick his hand out there instead of getting 2. You're just going to watch number 6 just come right there in front of your screen and possess that ball, making it 2nd and 2.
Braxton Graham trying to get those tough 2 yards inside. Going to be short by a yard.
Yeah, that time he was met there by the middle linebacker, number 43 for the Spoof Hounds, Tyler Coleman, who's been doing a decent job of tracking Graham all over the field, which is not an easy task.
Rawlings again will get the quarterback sneak for a first down. We've seen that, 3 or 4 times today with success.
Yeah, and every single time it goes to the left side of the Indians' offensive line at 56 Madison and also 75 Skelton. That's where the most of their beef lies, on their offensive line.
Fresh set of downs here for Seneca as they're at the Maryville 29. Braxton Graham on the pitch. Weaves his way close to another first down. And he's going to fall a yard short as he picks up 9 yards on the carry. John Schinkel there to stop him before he got a first down.
Yeah, Seneca doing a good job of kind of moving the ball and showing some variety of plays. I mean, you got 2 plays going up the middle, some passes in the flat, some option plays on the perimeter, whatever it takes to get some more points on the scoreboard.
Graham will get the first down. Wrapped up at the 18-yard line. Only needed 1, picked up 3.
Yeah, and I like the battle between the middle linebacker for the Spoofhouse, Tyler Coleman, and also number 34 for the Indians, Graham. I mean, they've met on several occasions, just trading blows like boxers.
Indians in the red zone. And Rawlings, who couldn't find an open receiver, picks up a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 now for Seneca as we touch on 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Indians trail the defending Class 3 champion Maryville Spoofhounds 36-6.
You just want to see Rawlings just kind of sit in there just a hair longer. I mean, he's getting real impatient in the pocket for a 3-year starter. You want to see him have a little bit more poise and give his wide receivers a chance to get open down the field.
Rawlings with the pump fake. Throws, end zone, incomplete. Chance Smith was there, the intended receiver. Nally was on the coverage.
Yeah, good location on that ball, just kind of led him a little too far. But you always teach your quarterbacks, if there's a play to be made in the end zone, try to aim for the back corner of the pylon. You just never know what may happen. And a touchdown or pass interference call on the defense. But Rawlings just overshot him.
10th play of the drive for the Indians. 3rd and 8. Rawlings underneath, incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Dallin Merriman.
You know, if Rawlings just would have been a little bit more patient and looked to his left or to his right, you know, Quentin Cotton, number 21, he was wide open in the flat, waiting on him to throw the ball to him. Probably would have walked in, you know, worst case scenario for a first down, might have got a touchdown.
On 4th down, pressure, Rawlings sacked. Spoofhounds get him, and they'll get the possession back with 2:21 left here in the third quarter of play.
Yeah, and the Spoofhounds did a really good job of bringing pressure immediately up the middle. By 56, Logan Catlett. You're gonna watch him just come right through the middle from his defensive line position. Just wrap up Rawlings in the open field.
So the Spoofhounds take over on downs, leading it by 30, looking for their 2nd consecutive Class 3 championship here at the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis as Gabe Martin makes a nice open field tackle. And right back to the line of scrimmage are the Spoofhounds. You know, for Maryville, they had a scare early in the season. 4th week, they took on a team, Bishop LeBlanc. They actually trailed that game, and Dakota Beamer, who had 207 yards rushing in that game, will pick up the touchdown with less than a minute left. And as Coach Matt Webb of Maryville will tell you, that was the turning point in this season for Maryville. Back to the title game, and on that pitch, nowhere to go. Chance Smith and company there to wrap up for no gain, in fact, a loss.
Yeah, and also True Love in on the action, too, for the Indians defense. I guess at that particular moment, Nally held the ball too long in the mesh point, which is nothing more than just holding the ball right in the center of the running back's belly, reading the defensive line or the end man on the line of scrimmage, whether he wants to keep it or hand it off to him or not. Held it too long that time.
Pressure, sack, second time. Nally's been sent down for a loss. Jacob Trulove and company get the sack for the Seneca Indians.
Yeah, Coach Scheiber, you got nothing to lose at this point. Just send everyone. Do a zero blitz. All 11 defenders, no responsibility. Just get a turnover on downs, just like they did right there on that particular play.
Second punt of the afternoon now for the Spoofhounds, all coming in this third quarter of play. Bad snap handle, almost blocked. And this one will roll out at the Maryville 49-yard line. So best field position of the afternoon now for Seneca sits at the Maryville 49. And really, when you look at it, especially in this third quarter of play, it's not as if Seneca has had bad field position.
Right, they've been able to move the ball, but they've been having a hard time of finishing drives, whether you get a field goal attempt or scoring a touchdown. And like I mentioned before, the Spoofhounds defense, I mean, they may bend a little bit, but they don't necessarily break. They get a turnover, the interception down on the goal or near the goal line, and then they get a turnover on down.
Braxton Graham wrapped up for a 1-yard gain to the Maryville 48-yard line as we are winding down this third quarter of play here at the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis. The Maryville Spoofhounds looking for their second consecutive Class 3 championship and their 30th straight win, up by 30.
You talk about Coach Webb. I mean, no pressure. You haven't lost a game in your first 2 seasons.
Rawlings, all kinds of heat, and he'll be wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. As we get set for the fourth quarter play after the break, it'll be a 3rd and long for the Indians, and they got a long way to go in this one. As we get set for the final 12 minutes of this Class 3 championship game, Maryville with the 36-6 lead over the Seneca Indians. Great crowd on hand, as you can see, the folks making the trek from northwest Missouri here to the gateway city. Seneca from the southwestern part of the state of Missouri, facing a 3rd and 9 from the Maryville 48 to start things off here in the final quarter of play. Rawlings winds up, throws, incomplete to Braxton Graham.
Yeah, good pressure again up front. From the defensive line of the Spoofhounds, you saw a in-tackle stunt up front to where basically the end became the tackle and the tackle became the defensive end, and just going right up the middle and getting pressure right in Rollins' face. Forcing a long throw down the field. Incomplete.
Might be the longest pass attempt, or the second longest at least, by Rawlins
for this
here
game,
this afternoon.
Yep.
They're going to go for it. 4th and 10, down by 30 here in the fourth quarter. 0 for 2 on 4th down conversions today. Rawlins. Maryville brings 4. Throws. Hits his outlet, Merriman, and Nally makes a great tackle as Merriman will fall. It looks like a yard short of the first down.
Oh.
Wow.
I thought they were going to give him forward progress on that. It seemed like he crossed the yard marker, but
great tackle by Nally here.
Yeah, just watching Rollins scan the field, going for Merriman the entire way, but Nally comes up and basically keeps Merriman from getting the first down. You see it right here. Didn't necessarily take him down to the ground, but he at least just kept his forward progress. He stopped his momentum from getting the first down. Good job.
Spoofhounds take over on downs, up by 30. Short hopped on first down.
Yeah, Nally's been making plays all over the field. Free safety. Now he has the ball in his hands as a quarterback. He's going to be interesting to see if he goes to Northwest Missouri State, maybe move to receiver or stay as a quarterback next year in the MIAA.
Great size at 6'4". And Seneca, they had about 9 men in the box.
Yeah.
In fact, at the line, and no gain on that carry by Brody McMahon.
I mean, that's one way to discourage that trap. I mean, you got to outnumber the offensive line or the offense up front, so you can at least have a defender or two that come free. But once you come free, you got to make the tackle, and that's exactly what the Indians defense did.
Maryville 4 of 8 on third down conversions today. Here comes the heat.
Yeah.
Sacked for the third time today.
Yeah, they're sending 7 guys now. Blitzing from all angles, right up the middle with both linebackers on the edge with the outside linebacker and True Love. I mean, that's one way to kind of slow down this Spoof Hounds offense.
There's Mac Eust, number 66, picking up the sack. He now has 6.5 of those this season.
Mac Eust grinding in there.
Bad snap handled, and they get the kick off. Smith from his own 23 and a good open field tackle.
Yeah, good coverage by the punt unit. 4.
Seneca with the football. When we come back, they trail it by 30.
Welcome back to the Edward Jones Dome here in downtown St. Louis. Maryville leads Seneca 36-6 in the Class 3 state championship game. Back to Barmarito Automotive Group, our great sponsor of our broadcast here. And Barmarito Nissan, Missouri's sales leader with Nissan, has just completed its 15th year as the largest Nissan dealer in Missouri and continues to lead the entire Nissan Central Region in sales. Make sure you drop by the Hazelwood location at the big corner of 270 North Lindbergh Boulevard to see all the new Nissan lines of fuel, most fuel efficient in the industry. Let's go back up to Scott Warman and Michael Young.
10:30 left in this fourth quarter of play. Seneca with a 1st and 10. And Braxton Graham breaks loose for a big gain. And Braxton will be wrapped up at the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup for number 34.
Yeah, you got to take your hat off to Seneca. These kids are still out here competing. It's just that once they get over to the red zone, they have to find a way to put some more points on the scoreboard because, quite frankly, this offense has moved the ball fairly well. They're just coming up empty-handed.
Fumble on the snap, and it looks like it's going to be picked up by Seneca. Braxton Graham gets the fumble recovery off the bad snap.
Yeah, I don't think Rollins was ready yet.
I don't think so either. Might have missed the snap count on the center's end of things. Braxton Graham has got to be going, what the heck is going on? In 14 games, young man has 49 touchdowns, and he has not seen pay dirt here today.
Yeah.
Rollins, again, good coverage, and he's forced to run it.
Yeah, that time he hung in there a little bit longer. No one was open downfield, so consider that a coverage sack. But being an athletic quarterback like Rollins is, he just had to take off and run and get what he could. He's scanning, he's waiting, but he has a clock in his head. Also, he felt a little bit of pressure too, but he did the right thing. Just get upfield and get what you can.
3rd and 5. Rollins going for it, gets the first down, and makes it to the 46-yard line of the Spoof Hounds. Had a little trouble with that snap initially, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't get his grip on the ball, but then also, too, he had Thompson flashing in his face, so he made another wise decision, just tuck it and run and get what you can.
Young man, 3-year starter. Dan Scheibel, the head coach at Seneca, told us just a true leader on this team.
Yeah.
You can even see the body language that the young man is definitely frustrated today. Throws, and it's dropped by Chance Smith. Boy, he picks up that catch, and he's got some yards to run on that one.
Yeah, still running for Chance Smith. But yet again, just staying in the pocket, and when he's delivering the ball down the field on time, you know, the wide receivers aren't looking the ball all the way through, and Chance Smith just took his eye off the ball for a second because he was looking to turn upfield and get to the end zone.
Spoof Hounds bring 4. Rollins steps up, throws, incomplete. Another drop pass this time by number 20, Dallin Merriman.
Yeah, Dallin Merriman, too. The intended receiver going over the middle of the field just also took his eye off the ball for a second. You watch number 20 come from the right of your screen. I mean, he got his hands right on that ball, just didn't look it all the way through. And then every now and again, you have 2 guys end up in the same location, but that ball was clearly to number 20, the leading pass catcher for this team, Merriman.
Braxton Graham on the screen. And makes a little something out of nothing as he'll wiggle his way to the 43. And now it'll be a 4th and 7 facing the Seneca Indians.
Yeah, one thing I've been impressed with Graham and also too McMahon, they have real good change of direction. You know, I mean, they can cut on a dime. They're going right. They can put their foot in the dirt and get left and then get right up the field.
Rollins steps up, throws downfield, and Smith comes up with the reception. And he runs out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
Excellent throw by Rollins and also an even better catch by Smith, making up for that drop pass that he had early on a few plays before. Nothing fancy. He's looking to the right side of the field the entire time. He recognizes that he has one-on-one coverage on the outside, and Chance Smith just beat the defender down the field, which happened to be number 3, Dawson. Got some good separation.
36 yards on the reception. Graham, nowhere to go.
Again, the usual suspects in on the tackle. 33 Thompson and also 43 Tyler Coleman, keeping Graham out of the end zone. And he's looking to get, what, 50, 51 touchdowns on the year. They're making it real tough for him.
Rollins throws, and nice defensive play by Brody McMahon on the defensive end as Rollins was trying to find Merriman in the end zone.
Yeah. You see number 34, Graham, again, just everything kind of setting up on play action. Kind of freezes the defenders for a second, trying to knife that ball in there to the back corner of the end zone with Merriman. But McMahon almost came up with another turnover, another interception.
3rd and goal from the 6. Rollins again back to pass. Pressure. Rollins wrapped up. No gain. I'll tell you what, you got to tip your cap to this Spoof Hounds defensive backfield. The 2nd and 3rd line of defense are doing a great job in the coverage.
They are. I mean, just taking away a lot of throwing lanes, number 1, by the defensive line, and then 2, they're sticking to those receivers like glue. Hard to complete passes down on the goal line because the windows and the margin of error gets a little bit shorter. So if you don't really have a perfect pass, got to chuck it and go.
Indians trying to get on the scoreboard. This is a 4th and goal. Blitz coming this time. Rawlings sacked.
Excellent job by the Spoof Hounds, sending pretty much everyone on a 0 blitz. The person who came free was number 57.
Isaac Bledsoe.
At this point, you're just starting to see bodies just flying all from across the screen, and number 57 came untouched and got down Rollins. Again, just keeping the Indians out of the end zone.
7:03 left here in the 4th quarter of play. Spoof Hounds with a comfortable 30-point lead. Dakota Beamer on the first down carry, and last 3 possessions for the Spoof Hounds have been 3 and out. So Seneca, at least on the defensive end, has kind of held up their end of the bargain. It's the offense, and they've been knocking on the door a couple times. They just can't punch it in. It's almost like a bend, don't break defensively for the Spoof Hounds.
That's exactly what it is. This is exactly how it's been all afternoon.
Go to Beamer again, and he's wrapped up immediately by Matt Youst.
Matt Youst is all over the place. I mean, not only is he making tackles at the point of attack for little or no gain, but he's keeping some of these linebackers free too. I mean, if he can't make the tackle, at least Merriman and Truelove, they can come in and clean everything up.
Now, it's quite a story that's happening up in Maryville, Missouri with this football team. Teetering on a 30-game winning streak. Broken tackle and falling short of the first down is Brody McMahon.
I mean,
and a 4th and short situation coming up.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do when I guess you do lose the game?
Well, they came close. As I mentioned, Bishop LeBlanc had them on the ropes. Up 16-12, and they drive down the field, get the touchdown, and win it 18-16. And again, Matt Webb, the head coach at Maryville, told us, we had a chance to talk to him this week, that was really the turning point for this team. And again, here's a fumble on the snap. by the punter, and somehow he gets the kick away, and Braxton Graham will call the fair catch.
Talk about a heady play by McMahon. Drops the snap, still had the wherewithal to kick the ball down the field. And now Seneca has the opportunity to drive it, but they got to start in their own territory.
I think it still bears repeating that Maryville lost 22 guys to graduation last year. Here's the second half drives for Maryville. They start off with the touchdown, but now really absolutely stuck in neutral. In fact, a couple of times going backwards against the Seneca defense here this afternoon. But of course they have the 30-point cushion. Braxton Graham trying to get to the outside, turns the corner, cutting it loose. Braxton Graham to the 15.
But a good job by Seneca too, setting up that shovel pass, kind of basically playing against the Maryville defense, using their aggressiveness and making it a weakness. You're going to see number 33 just fly up the field, or the end man on line of scrimmage fly up the field towards the quarterback. Good blocking down the field too as well by the receivers. And you just see Graham just trying to pick his way and weave his way to the end zone.
39 yards.
It's a good play on that shovel pass. I mean, Rollins sucked up the end man on the line of scrimmage, and before you know it, Graham getting close to the goal line.
Indians in the red zone once again. And this time Rawlings slings it over to Smith.
This is a little bit of small ball, but you know, lateral passes are okay on the goal line, but you at least want to take some shots in the end zone.
Normally a play like that, doesn't that set something up maybe a little bit further downfield on the next play? We'll see if that is the choice here for Dan Scheibel. Graham's going to throw it. End zone, touchdown, Chance Smith.
Good job. Finish that drive, get into the end zone. I mean, if Graham can't make it into the end zone, he can at least throw a touchdown pass and get into the end zone. Good job by him. A good play call. Halfback pass always seems to work on the goal line, especially when everybody's keying on number 34. And also Smith gets right behind the defender in man-to-man coverage. Just a good touchdown, good executed play.
So the Indians find the end zone for the first time since the 2:58 mark of the first quarter of play. Now for two. Bubble screen set up. And they complete the two-point conversion. Let's take a look at the halfback option here, Michael.
Just taking a look at Graham's eyes. I mean, he's looking at the defensive lineman. The end man on the line of scrimmage looking at him. And then as soon as he gets the ball, he's just kind of setting everything up like he's going to tuck and go. And just fired a nice tight spiral to the end zone to Chance Smith. Good job.
Only 22 seconds on that drive. 3 plays, 54 yards. Chance Smith with the touchdown reception. And it's 36-14. Let's go to the sidelines and check back in with Corey Riggs. Corey.
Thanks, guys. You know, this Seneca team, it's not their first time here. They've won a couple of state championships. Back in 1997, they capped off a 14-0 run with a title win over Brentwood, 20-13. Then again in 95, they defeated Herculaneum 35-14 on another perfect run. And the guy that was the coach, Tom Hodge, well, the Seneca Indians field is named after him now. And Coach Scheibel still has him as a resource, guys, because Tom Hodge, well, he's the athletic director at Seneca. So a lot of proud history and tradition in this Indians football program.
It's always good to lean on a person with good experience, a good winning experience. And he can just use him to kind of say, hey, what are we doing wrong? What can we improve on? It's always good to have wise men that you work for.
Hagen Snow, the junior, handles the onside kick for the Spoofhounds. 4:53 left in this fourth quarter of play. Reminder, we've got 2 more games coming up here on Fox Sports Midwest. We've got the Class 1 championship that will kick off right around 2:15. And then around 5:30, we'll wrap up the whole weekend of events with the Class 5 championship game. Lee Summit West taking on Parkway Central. Huge hole from McMahon. McMahon goes the distance.
And the time that the Indians didn't blitz, a lot of defenders, this was the end result. Just going back to that quick dive up the middle, and McMahon broke a tackle or two and got into the end zone yet again.
Before that play, Maryville only had 6 more total yards of offense than Seneca. But this changed the complex right here.
Actually, I stand corrected. The Indians did blitz. Actually, just a good job by the offensive line, just knocking those guys out of there and just creating pay dirt for McMahon.
Two-point conversion. Nally, McMahon throws, caught.
Come back with their own halfback pass on a 2-point conversion.
Peyton Dawson, the junior, already has a touchdown this afternoon. And what an answer back by the Maryville Spoofhounds as they get their lead back to 30.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be creative if you're going to run 2-point conversions if you don't believe in necessarily extra points. And just another pass play, and just another halfback pass in the open field. Actually, that ball was tipped, but it still had enough on it to get back to Beamer.
Just the way Michael Young used to draw it up in the backyard back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Especially on Thanksgiving Day, Christmas morning. Yeah, go long real quick. See if I can make it.
Do that. The quarterback always used to tell you, go do that real long fly pattern, and then he'd just run it. You'd go,
yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing about playing football in the backyard. I mean, everybody just go deep.
That's right.
It's a Hail Mary every single play.
Chance Smith gets a chance to return this. Run out of bounds at the 36.
You know, good strategy by Matt Ware pretty much all afternoon. Instead of kicking the ball to Graham, you know, their explosive returner / running back, just angle punt the ball, which you're giving Seneca pretty good field position, but the defense does an excellent job of just keeping those guys out except for the last drive.
Well, if nothing else, the Indians have to feel good about themselves that they found the end zone again after their last possession. They had touched the red zone a couple, 2-3 times and came out empty.
Everything got a little bit shorter. The defensive ends and defensive tackles just took away some of those running lanes from Graham. And also forced turnovers.
With all kinds of time. Just winds this puppy up. And Merriman with the catch. How did he get behind the defensive backfield, trying to get to the end zone, and he falls a yard short.
Talking about launching the ball down the field. He might have closed his eyes when he threw that ball. But needless to say, connecting with Merriman deep down the field, got behind double coverage. You could just see him just scanning the field, just waiting and waiting, no pressure in his face. And Merriman just got behind 2 defenders. Actually, he lost his man, or his man lost him. A really solid effort by Merriman, who had to actually wait for that ball and still keeping the legs pumping, getting closer and closer to the goal line. So I'm assuming either there'll be a play for Graham or quarterback sneak.
Graham. Touchdown number 50 for Braxton Graham.
It's a good job by Graham finally getting down and getting a chance to get into the end zone. I mean, nothing more than just a power lead following the fullback. Also, number 56, Madison, clearing some space for him, and Graham, deservedly so, walks into the end zone for the Indians.
Indians will go for 2. Still trying to figure out how Merriman got behind the defensive backfield, because that defensive backfield for the Spoofhounds really has kind of put that passing game in clamps for the better part of this championship game. Rawlings all kinds of time again on the 2-point conversion and slings it for the 2 points.
Yeah, nice side-on throw by Rawlings. Yeah, to Nick Dunham.
Here's this Merriman reception again to set up the touchdown run.
Yeah, it seemed like the defender who was on him in man-to-man coverage lost him, and then also lost the ball in flight. And then right where Rawlings decides to throw the ball deep down the field, we can freeze it right there, and the defender gets turned around. So actually he beat his man to the ball, and then also to the cornerback that was bailing back had to come off of his man to help him in coverage. But yeah, the defender on the back end in man-to-man coverage just got lost. He lost the flight of the ball. And then Merriman came back and caught it. Got those guys down close to the end zone.
Peyton Rollins had all kinds of time, too.
He did. Yeah, that was the one time, I guess, that, you know, the Spook Hounds didn't blitz.
Yeah.
Because they were harassing him for the better part of this second half.
Indians down by 22. Rollins will try the onside kick once again. And it's recovered by the Spoof Hounds right at the midfield stripe. And there again on the recovery is Hagen Snow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Maryville has had their fair share of onside kicks. The way that they've been playing all season long. Had a chance to get some practice at it because it didn't really look like much. I mean, Hagen Snow caught it on the one hop, got possession, and now you see the offense getting ready to take over at the 49.
Beamer on the ground game on first down. Beamer. Check that. That wasn't Beamer. That was number 14, Oglesby, with his first carry of the afternoon for the Spoof Hounds, and he'll pick up 20.
Yeah, normally a backup quarterback getting some action in at running back. And first carry, a nice long gain for Oglesby.
Last 3 touchdowns have taken a grand total of 39 seconds.
Scoring at will. Yeah, now you got some younger guys in the game for the Spoof Hounds. And this is what normally happens when you've been anxious standing on the sideline. Finally, you get your opportunity to come in the game, and you jump off sides.
Dead ball, false start, offense. 5 yard, still first down.
New quarterback also in the game for the Spoof Hounds as Keston Oltman, just a freshman, takes over for Trenton Alley as we're under 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I really like when coaches do this. I mean, they give a chance for these younger guys to come in. I mean, this is probably your sophomore team getting a chance to get in the game, state championship, get some of that experience, because these are the guys that are going to have to come back and continue this state championship streak next year.
Second carry of the afternoon for Oglesby.
Yeah, just going back to that point that you made about all 3 teams, freshman team, sophomore team, varsity, being undefeated. I mean, that is pretty impressive.
And the junior high team as well.
The junior high team, too. I mean,
they have really put together quite a product up there in Northwest Missouri.
Yeah.
Plus, they have a pretty good college football team up there in Division II.
You're pretty much running the same offense at junior league, so by that way, the terminology doesn't change. Terminology doesn't change. So you're just practicing the same offense year after year.
And this time, Oglesby is wrapped up for a loss by Jacob Truelove. And boy, you think about it, just not only from a public school side of things, but even from the private side of things, how many teams we're seeing now that are starting out their programs in the junior high system. That bodes well for, I think, a lot better football once everybody is together and moves forward into their varsity seasons.
It does. You run the same offense, the same defense, special teams. I remember back then when Jeff City, everybody was trying to figure out how they were having so much success.
Coach Atkins,
he had the same, I guess, feeder system, as you would call it, to where they just practiced the same offense basically when they were in middle school all the way up to when they became seniors in high school.
On fourth down, incomplete pass. Seneca will take over on downs. And this is a great story moving with that great Jeff City Jays program that Coach Atkins had for so many years in mid-Missouri.
Yep.
I went to the University of Missouri mid-'80s, and that's when the Missouri Tiger football program was down big time. And I remember there was a couple of guys who actually walked on to Woody Woodenhofer's team in our freshman year at Columbia. And they would tell me that the actual weight facility at Jeff City was better than the one at the University of Missouri. It shows you where the Mizzou program has gone leaps and bounds over the last 30 years.
Yeah, that absolutely can happen.
Braxton Graham on the receiving end of the screen, and he'll fall a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, talking about Missouri, I mean, who do you have tonight? You got Mizzou or Texas A&M?
Texas A&M. I mean, they are saying biggest football game maybe since 1960 when the Tigers were undefeated taking on Kansas.
Yeah, I got Missouri easily in that game tonight with Texas A&M.
Rollins. Pressure. And he'll go down. Now there's that coverage we were talking about. We saw through the better part of this game by that Spoofhounds defensive backfield.
Yeah, an excellent effort, too, by the defensive end. I mean, missed him once, missed him twice, but then able to get him down in the open field, you know, forcing another play. So you're just going to watch the defensive end, number 55, for the Spoofhounds. Missed him once. Actually just kind of regathers him again and finally gets him down. That's an excellent job by Tucker Tripp.
And another screen. Good for a first down for Seneca. On the receiving end, Ethan Dorland. As we're under a minute left and the Seneca Indians on their verge of losing their 4th game of the season, but they need to keep their heads held up high. It's been an outstanding season after a rough start, winning 11 of 12 and making it back to the Show Me Bowl this season.
Yeah, pretty excellent execution by the Seneca Indians, just doing a tunnel screen right in the middle of the field, hitting Dorland in stride.
Rollins again. Gets into Maryville territory, and the clock continues to roll as we have 30 seconds left in our Class 3 championship, and now a timeout is called by Dan Scheibel with 28 seconds left. Again, coming up after this one, just a little bit after 2 o'clock, we'll have the Class 1 championship, and then we'll wrap it all up in our triple header of Show Me Bowl 2013 coverage here on Fox Sports Midwest, the Class 5 title game between Lee Summit West and Parkway Central. As you see our next telecast, Marshland taking on Valley Catholic. Seems like Valley has been in the championship game for about the last 30. They were a machine back when I was going to high school in the 80s.
Yeah, and if they win, today, they'll be the 12th state championship, and they'll tie Webb City for the state lead. And I mean, you're talking about the usual suspects. Teams that's coming, you know, Webb City, 4 straight championships. And then now you have Maryville, 2 straight championships in Class 3. Blue Springs last night, 2 straight championships. I mean, there's a reason why these programs are so successful.
Got a quick shot, a great camera crew down on the field of the trophy that's about to be handed out to the Maryville Spoofhounds for the 2nd consecutive year, as they will now win 30 games in a row. Like you said earlier, how is not just the players, but how is Coach Webb going to react if he actually loses the game? He has started this 30-game winning streak, taking over the Maryville Spoofhounds football program.
I mean, taking over a program, and you know, just want to come in and have a good season. Yes, one of your goals is to win state, but to win it 2 years in a row, I mean, that says a lot, especially after losing 22 starters. I mean, that was another big thing too. Yeah, but winning coaches have a winning formula, and it's obviously working, you know, for the programs that I just mentioned. And now you throw Maryville into the mix. I mean, they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
There you get a shot at Coach Webb. And again, a team that lost 22 to graduation last year, and they're about to rip off another 15-0 season. 4th down. Rawlings heaves it up, and it is caught. What a catch by Braxton Graham. What a way to go out for the senior.
And definitely splitting 2 defenders to go in and dive and catch that ball for a touchdown pass. There's no quitting the Indians, I'll tell you that. And also, too, again, Rollins just laying that ball down the field, and you just see Graham just split between 2 defenders on the back end, the cornerback and the safety, for the Spoofhounds, in an excellent effort by Graham to catch that ball and leap in, going for a 2nd touchdown. They'll probably give him, what, 51?
51 touchdowns on the season, my friend. 47-yard touchdown reception. Rollins falls short on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, this is a good example that Coach Scheibel, that the varsity, that they put on, the Indians. Showing the younger generation that there's no fight. There's no quit in us, just all fight. I just want to go down, keep continuing to score some points.
Shot of the Indians bench. As they will finish the season with a record of 11-4. Again, winning 11 of their last 13 games of the 2013 campaign. Yeah. One of those losses actually coming to one of the state champions from yesterday's matchup. They lost to Lamar. That was one of their first 2 losses to open up the season.
Yeah, it's a couple of games like that yesterday. Some teams playing up. In the Lamar's case, they played up and they actually beat a Class 3 team.
And the return for Maryville. Hagen Snow. Hayden Dawson, excuse me. Number 3, the junior.
Well, there's no quit on either side. An onside kick recovery for a touchdown. He knew exactly what he wanted to do once he got the ball in his hands. He just scores a touchdown.
Second game. I'm sorry, Michael. Yeah. Second touchdown of the afternoon for Peyton Dawson.
Yeah.
As time runs out on the kickoff return for a touchdown. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah.
I've never seen this.
To close the game out, too. And he caught it on the bounce, and he knew exactly what to do with it once he got on the sideline and just turned everyone around. I'm assuming that Rollins thought the game was over once the clock ran out, but on Dawson's eyes, he at least wanted to get his name in the record books for the Mississippi State Championship.
And with that, Maryville puts 50 on the board.
Yeah.
And they win it by a score of 50-28. And congratulations, the Spoof Hounds have won back-to-back championships in Class 3 with the 22-point victory at 50-28 here at the Edward Jones Dome in downtown St. Louis. As you see the 2 teams congratulating each other on this state title game, our first of our triple header coverage here on Fox Sports Midwest.
Yeah, the recipe was pretty simple for the Spoof Hounds. Just kind of control the clock, give the ball to McMahon. It kind of opened everything up for Beamer and also Nally, and then once they got the rolling, that was pretty much it. They got the turnovers when they needed to, but Seneca just couldn't keep up. And the experience helps. When you have a team with some guys who didn't play last year, made the trip, got a chance to see a big upset over John Barrows. And congratulations to the Spoof Hounds.
Let's go down to the sidelines and check in with Corey Riggs. Corey?
Hey, guys, thanks. I'm here with Brody McMahon. Brody, a huge game today. Let's back up a little bit. How did Coach Webb start the day off? What was his message to you guys today?
We just, he just says it's a great opportunity. You got to come out and you got to play. And at the end of the day, what do you want? Do you want to win or you want to go home with a loss? And, we want it, so.
How important is this streak to you guys now? 30-0 since he's took over the program. You guys have things rolling now.
Oh, it's awesome. He's a great coach. It's great to play under him. All the other coaches are good, too. They got everybody else schemed up. It's awesome.
Well, what does this mean for you? You had a part. You saw everything happen last year. You're a big part of it again this year. What does it mean to you to take home a second straight championship to Maryville?
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome to make some good plays, watch everybody else make some big plays. It was fun.
All right, man. Well, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team. Guys, back upstairs to you.
All right, Corey, thanks so much, and congratulations. Brody McMahon and the Maryville Spoof Hounds, state champions in Class 3. Back with more of our coverage, and we'll hear from their coach when we come back. Spoof Hounds are celebrating their second consecutive Class 3 championship here at the Edward Jones Dome this afternoon as they knock off Seneca by a score of 50-28. Michael Young and Scott Warman back with you. We just saw Brody McMahon with Corey Riggs. Mind you, the leading rusher on this Spoof Hounds team is only a junior. He's back for another season next year, Michael.
I mean, you got to find a way to stop McMahon, but my hat goes off to him. He had the wherewithal to get that first turnover, and to me, that kind of changed the game. You know, from the Seneca Indians' perspective, they couldn't recover once he got that ball and took it down deep into their territory, but a really good game by Brody McMahon. They couldn't stop him on offense. It was hard to contain him on defense, and now they got their second straight state championship.
He may have had the pivotal play of this game with that fumble recovery that actually got called back. He ran it for a touchdown, but it did get called back. That was the first of 3 turnovers by Seneca today. But that was really huge, and I think the turning point, I think, kind of took Seneca off their game a little bit offensively after that first turn.
Yeah, it just seemed like it seems to deflate them, because once Maryville got the ball down deep into Seneca's territory, they knew exactly what to do with it. Give the ball off to McMahon, and then once they scored another touchdown, that seemed to be it, and that's all the Spoof Hounds needed, because then they gave energy to their defense, who bent a little bit today, but they didn't break.
Well, it was one of those things where the Spoof Hounds score on the opening possession, take an 8-0 lead, but Seneca came back and answered. They didn't get the extra point, but they were only down by 2 early on in this one and thought, boy, we're going to have a football game.
Yeah, you know what? And then, too, even on that play, that was a weird sequence to where they had a roughing the kicker play, and then they couldn't complete the extra point. And then after that, the Spoof Hounds go back down the field. They score again. And then also, too, Seneca, they come back, and they're moving the ball steadily. But then that's when you start to see the Spoof Hounds defense kind of take over the game. And then before you know it, they have their second consecutive state championship.
Well, Michael Young, Matt Webb is now 30-0 as a head coach.
No pressure, Matt. No pressure.
None whatsoever. Right now, he's downstairs with our Jim Powers and Rich Nixon, guys.
Thanks so much, Scott. And we are with the gentleman that took this program over 2 years ago and has not lost a game. 30-0, back-to-back state championships. Matt Webb, congratulations. What does it feel like right now? What are the emotions?
Well, just very proud to represent Maryville, the community itself, the high school. I'm very proud for our players. This group, came back after to defend the state title, graduating 22 seniors from last year's team, and just very proud moment to watch our guys celebrate something that they finished off.
Well, Coach, I can tell you, you don't know what it feels like to lose a high school football game as a head coach. Hats off to you. Congratulations. But from what I hear, all roads are pointing towards north and good prosperous times up in Maryville right now.
Yeah, it is. If you like winning football games, if you look at our local Northwest Missouri State Bearcats, our varsities finished the season 15-0. Our JV, our freshmen, and our 7th and 8th grade. We've got the great future coming. But this moment's about these guys on this field right now. We've adopted the slogan, "It's time to shine," and I can't imagine a better way for this group of seniors and this team to finish the season than right like this.
Talk a little bit about this senior class. I mean, obviously last year you lost a bunch, but this crew that came back this year, you put it on them. Beginning of the year, you put it on them, and they run the table.
Yeah, I think it starts right off top with our 2 captains, number 9, Trenton Alley, and 75, Jackson Morrison. Trenton Alley had not really played a snap of varsity quarterback going into the season, and the number 1 goal I told him was, what we look in a quarterback in a program is that you are a leader and you win a football game. And he got better all year. Certainly an unbelievable talent, on both sides of the ball, but just a leadership ability. And, there's a ton of seniors that I can name off, all 14 of them that have done a good job of leadership.
Coach, it's been great watching you guys the last 2 years, and I know that it's a very bright future. Undefeated football, the whole program this past year up at Maryville.
It's very unique, I tell you. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, Coach. Congratulations. Thanks so much for stopping by, and go celebrate with your kids.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The head coach for Maryville, Matt Webb, joins us. 30-0 over 2 years. 15-0 this year. The Spoof Hounds, back-to-back Class 3 state champions. We're going to be back in 30 minutes. It's Marceline taking on Valley Catholic in the Class 1 state championship. For Rich Nixon, Scott Warman, Michael Young, Corey Riggs, Kevin Shank, and the Niles Media Group, our great production house, they do a fantastic job. We'll be back in 30 minutes live from the Dome down here in downtown St. Louis.